going for the fifth. How many is this guy going to get before they take him out? iPow is just dominating. He's heating up, and this is the last value one.
Tinalunan, tapos inilapit para kay Armen para patayin na siya mga katropa. One hit kill! One hit kill! Galing kay Armen mga katropa with that sniper kill, and they're going.
But maybe go for some extra prize here as DT and spots on the Sova. Can he get the kill? Yes, he will get the headshot. Hello everyone and welcome to the Alliance Games featuring Call of Duty Mobile, co-presented by Globe, dubbed by the community as the UAAP/NCAA of esports. Alliance student clubs from across the Philippines are hashtag all G to compete in multiple esports titles and represent their campus. I'm Gas Talks Fast, and this is the wonderful Beef Mommy, and we're gonna be shoutcasting for today's matches. Beef, what's up?
Oh gosh, I'm so excited because we're finally casting together. I know for the longest time we've been wanting to cast together, and finally that day is today. Not only that, Miss Air is also going to be casting with us later on, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But today's story, today's first game actually, DLSU versus ADMU, guys. This is green versus blue, and so far we already know that one team, meaning DLSU, has been dominating the past few seasons. Let's see if LG Altair can actually go and tear up the place.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of tears, DLSU, they've barely been contested, if at all. They haven't dropped. It seems like they're basically invincible. I mean, every single caster's been saying it. Jericho, Kali, Warden, everybody's been talking about how these players are basically God, cut from the cloths of I don't know what they're on, but it's a lot of experience coming from DLSU, which is what I find really interesting, because we're already at the semifinals where we have the top teams fighting for that slot to play live, fighting for that slot to play in the finals. And at this point, yeah, everybody has good fundamentals, but it's about who can learn quicker. Now, what are your thoughts on that, Beef Mommy? I mean, you have the experience of DLSU, but you also have the benefit of hindsight. After all, VODs are there, and you know, it's an up-and-coming team, rather.
Yeah, absolutely. You were right about that. ADMU definitely has a little bit of element of surprise, but until where can they actually surprise DLSU? Because we already know that a lot of the boys from DLSU, they're pro players already. They're done. They've had so much experience, and that's why they keep just shredding every single team that they have. But again, element of surprise, and maybe ADMU can take them down, because like what we saw, ADMU versus CSB the other day, where we saw that they had such a dominant start. And yes, CSB had one map off of them, but that's only just one. So far, LG Altair looking really good to fight DLSU Viridis Arcus.
Yeah, and I love what I really love about COD in general, and these teams, they're very good at capitalizing on momentum. I would say Altair especially. I mean, okay, we can run down the stats here. Jericho brought it up a few games prior, right? DLSU, they're great off the transition. They're really clean. We're talking about vacuum sealed, fresh out of the bakery, like levels of playing. But you also have to remember, it's being able to capitalize on momentum that matters. So yes, you have them vacuum sealed. Yes, they are fresh as heck. But as soon as that gets torn open, like ADMU has a really good chance. And for me at least, momentum is a huge part of it. Like, we've seen teams unable to close out a 6-0 at SND. Could we be seeing that right now?
Yeah, and taking a look right now, we have our map number 1 in Slums, Hardpoint. This is going to be very tricky because Slums is such a small map, and we already know that Viridis Arcus is definitely one to have momentum, like what you said. So they're very good at those respawns, and also they're really good at the aggression as well. But this is where I think LG Altair can go and quite literally take off here in this map in particular for SND, where you have the ability to slow things down a little bit, and especially with a huge map like Takeoff, they can definitely get the rotations done, have that buddy system, and make sure just to win those long-range engagements.
Yeah, it's really all about the macro, which is one of the things I'd have to commend LG for. Really, it's that thoughtfulness. I mean, they know what their game plan is. Props to DLSU. DLSU knows how to adjust. But if Altair can play the game, play the game they want to play, can get in that rhythm, but most importantly, stay out of their own heads, they could really give a fight up to DLSU and maybe even take this home all the way to the finals.
Absolutely. And you know what? Speaking of taking away, don't forget to share the stream with the hashtag AllG for a chance to win a Battle Pass, 1K worth of CP, and even a full lucky draw. So guys, it's not just the teams here are going to win something, it's also the viewers as well. And now that I'm thinking about it, can the casters win a little bit of something as well? I'm pretty low on the CP, especially with the new Season 6, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, as a whale, on any given day, I mean, I'm always low on CP, so it doesn't hurt for us to, you know, sign up and try our luck. I mean, we're already lucky enough to have an event like this, brought to you by, of course, by Alliance. Thank you so much, AcadArena. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Globe Telecoms, because again, we wouldn't have this without you. And of course, the wonderful spans, students, friends, family, everybody supporting these players. Again, this event only gets as big as it is because of you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. And you guys, it's just semifinals, so it's hype, right? I mean, it's right. I'm at a
The
loss for
silence
words.
speaks for itself,
Yeah.
y'all. Okay, because at the end of the day, we are at our playoffs. We only have 2 days left, today and the next week, for us to crown whoever is going into Conquest, and that is on July 24. And it's our first LAN after a while, and AcadArena definitely is going to be a big event, and you guys wouldn't want to miss that. But again, let's talk about the teams really quick. So we do have Ateneo versus DLSU. You already know the rivalry spans years and years going into this. Before even esports was a thing, sports, academics, you definitely know they're gonna go head to head. But now we're finally seeing esports here, and definitely the big dogs, like we keep saying, like we keep reiterating, Viridis Arcus is definitely the big dog. But we just want to see some sort of underdog type of story here where LG Altair is gonna just surprise everyone.
Yeah, and the thing about underdogs is you brought up having a bag of tricks. That's important, right? Being able to just like show them the bag and say and like have a magic trick like peekaboo, I see you, and taking rounds.
Like we did
That's absolutely huge. Yeah, exactly. That's one way of opening things up, right? But the thing that I would say for a dominant team like DLSU, yes, they can adjust. Yes, they know what they're doing. Yes, they have an experience. But remember, experience also means a lot of comfort. So if LG can go in there with a bag of trips, just even trip them up a little bit, get in their heads just a little bit, play their game, but more importantly, play like themselves, but at the same time not, you know, get a little two-faced Bruce Wayne Batman situation going on there. Like, that's huge. That is a huge advantage of being an underdog. It's the fact that if you do dumb stuff, they're not gonna know. If you do dumb stuff, whether you know it's dumb, whether you're doing it on purpose or not, like, you know, dumb is a very it's very contextual term. Well, all I'm saying is a feed in one, like running it down mid can be bad in a lot of situations, but also very good in others. So, and that's the point, right? If they can shock DLSU out of their element, we could well see the series going to Ateneo.
Yeah, the element of surprise is definitely very important in this game, like what you said. If you see that a play is something unorthodox, I feel like unorthodox is a little bit more proper for this situation, where your team will expect you to have like the usual routes, the rush routes, whatever like that, then you know what? Maybe it'll work out for a team like LG. But you know what? Taking a look at what we have over here, VVVMJ obviously going to be for De La Salle University, and calls coming in from Ateneo de Manila. Honestly, this girl, she is absolutely cracked. I see her in the Valkyrie series and for the Garena playoffs, and she has been shredding every single time. So again, it doesn't really matter what they had done in the past. What matters is now. But obviously, a giant is definitely going to be here. The green giant, like what we say here in De La Salle University, and definitely both of these teams have a little bit of experience. But I just really see all of the tricks that they have. Like what we keep saying, the trick needs to be out, and they can't pull the same trick twice. That is probably the most difficult thing here.
Yeah, and speaking of things that you don't want to do twice, it's lose control of those power positions. It's looking a little bit difficult for Ateneo to make their way on point, especially with MJ holding things down, Young J as well. This is just pristine play coming from DLSU so far. Ateneo, they've got to go around. They've got to make that break right now, and the break has already hit. With 10 seconds left, they're gonna have to fight for every second of this game because DLSU, this is a very, very tough matchup for them. This is the finals on the line right now.
Definitely P1 already. No one is stepping on the hard point here in mid, and now so far we do have DLSU having a little bit of an upper hand, 22 and 19, but still not a big enough lead for me to say that it's a comfortable one. But then the rotation finally comes through, and it's going to be very important to you to have that rotation going into the right side. You can see it on the upper right side of the map. Definitely you'd want to win your engagements there, but the heady, that nasty heady you can see over there, that is going to be very difficult to go and defeat.
Yeah, look at the spawn control from Ateneo here. This is huge. If they can hold on to this point is guaranteed. There's Young J just holding things down for the rest of the team to make it. That's a huge kill onto him. Calls, able to make it happen. This is great. It's just basically a death funnel for DLSU right now. They're going to have to force their way in, and that's exactly what DLSU is looking to do.
Definitely. Look at that. Pretty solid hold so far here from Altair. But then they just kind of go in for the really solid defense, which has been working for them so far. But DLSU looks like they want to go in for the early rotation. No one is going in for the contest whatsoever, which is going to be detrimental because it's giving them a lot of points. ADMU is very successful when it comes to all of that. So again, there's a lot of things into consideration here. You need to have a really perfect rotation. You need to win all of those gunfights. But while we're trying to set up the matches again, the rotation, like what we saw a while ago, it's already into the side of DLSU. So it's how well they can go and defend this, like how ADMU actually had that, because ADMU, they knew that P2 was going to be that money hill, that they can get a lot of points at, which they did.
Yeah, and this is the big thing. I mean, the LSU, they're playing with a lot of respect, so they know who they're up against. And right now, that's what we were talking about earlier, Beef. It's that LG rhythm. They're starting to feel themselves, and the LSU, they need to play a little bit more proactive if they want to turn things around, because they can, but they have to take a lot. It would be much better if they took less risks, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, what you saw there, that was a really great start coming in from LG Altair. I'm hoping they will definitely keep that momentum on, but it looks like they know the map very well. They're very comfortable in slums, and now you get to see which type of play they want to go for. Are they going to be going in for early rotations, knowing how small the map is? And I feel like it was kind of a fault for DLSU to not contest that hard point whatsoever, giving like a lot of points. I feel like it was even a full 60 going in for the side of LG Altair.
Yeah, and it's huge because you can already see the level of composure that this team has. I mean, normally the way that I've been seeing the games that I've been seeing against DLSU so far, it's teams that respect DLSU and it looks like they have a little bit of fear. You see a little bit of hesitation, but this is the thing: not a single moment, not a single shred of doubt. Even with a lead as big as 5 points, they knew what they were doing. Just step onto the point, step together, and that was forcing the LSU to move in, to respect them a little bit more. And on top of the organized counterplay, to just control the key areas, control the spawns, and get control of rotations, make the most of their money heals. That's absolutely huge, and that's what we were building up earlier, right, Beef Mommy? The strategy being key this game.
Yeah, definitely. And especially like the last game that we saw a while ago was definitely P2, where we get to see it. But obviously we already have a pretty cool score. Now that we're back inside the game, you can see ADMU having that 93 and 66. But you can see that DLSU has a lot of points coming in from the last Harper that we saw. But then the reset finally does come through. And you can see that LGA already positioned there really well.
Yeah, and this is huge. This is huge because this game is closer than you think. Not a single score streak right now. Not a single scored streak. That means everybody's getting shut down. That means this is very, very close, and it's coming down to who trades better, who has the better macro right now. Immediately, Static wants to make this big play, going for the 1v4, but you're peeking into 2 people. Very, very difficult situation, and now it looks like LG, they could get flipped over on their heads. But again, DLSU's respect could bite them in the booty because Coles is opening up this point.
Now DLSU trying to get some points up there, but then they're all losing their gunfights. So finally, big gunfight. They need to control bricks right now, which they definitely do have. And LG definitely knows that. So we can see here DLSU definitely getting a lot of the scrap points down. 13 seconds left on this hard point. But then This is where they lost a while ago. That reset
Yeah.
going into P2 where they just couldn't get rid of the people up here in the heady. You can see where Wheat is. That is a really nasty heady where you definitely won't be able to win that unless you have some sort of a long-range gunfight, especially with the scope. They just are king in that situation. But you can see here DLSU definitely goes in there very aggressively, trying not to go in there and trying not to make the same mistake.
Oh, this is a huge gamble for DLSU. They needed to win that fight, but it looks like they're shut down immediately. And now they're just gonna run it down. They want to flip the spawn, and it looks like they could get it if they can just step in the back. There it is. We already see them getting shut down, though. Incredible play from Wheat, going for the triple on that Annihilator. This is absolutely huge. LG, they're holding on by a thread, though, as DLSU finally make that break. Great defense, but unfortunately overwhelmed. And now the favorable spawn and the flip begins.
And now, speaking of the flip, parking is definitely going to be a favorable one for you. And DLSU was able to flip those spawns really well. Yes, they lost that gunfight going into the P2, but they still went in for the really long rotation coming in from pillars. That is definitely a really big hit. But then the rotation coming in through for the next hardpoint is definitely going to be very handy. Like what we saw a while ago, DLSU went there early, but now you get to see ADMU definitely going in there very early as well. Establishing that defense is definitely going to be big, especially now that they're winning all their gunfights before the hardpoint even starts.
Yeah, the iron wall, though, might not be impenetrable because they're getting overwhelmed. The LSU, it seems like they understand that if they move in faster, if they play for those trades, they're going to be able to make it. It's one person going in for that contest. iPow is able to make it, but he's going to get run down immediately. Control again and again. The defense is the story, but the question is, how long can they hold on to it? 30 seconds, 30 points left. Plenty of time for ADMU to close this out. DLSU, they're fighting for this, and they're getting desperate. The Pred already coming down, but not enough to shove them off of this hill. They have the spawn, but they don't have the fight to get in the hill.
And now speaking of, they get into the hill, finally winning all their gunfights, even though that wasn't that easy. They did get spawn advantage there, really just spawning up into the fountain side of the map. So that's a really good start for them. They are getting scrap points. But yet again, that's where they actually go and win a lot of these gunfights. The scrap points that ADMU has seemed to be having trouble kind of obtaining. But now, going into the rotation, going into the final hardpoint right now is the bloodiest out of every single hardpoint that we have here because there's so many entrances. The spawns are definitely going to be crazy. And right now, we get to see ADMU just losing a lot of their gunfights and going into that hard point.
I was gonna say, DLSU, they know how to scrap, and this is the last place that you want to fight. An entire minute could hurt them, and on top of Ateneo, they're desperately trying to hold on to their rhythm, giving up those scrap points. That's not what you want when the next point is so close, when the next point favors the skill set of DLSU so well. And right now, with the Annihilators out, they have the distance and close range advantage as well. Ateneo, they're going for the Hail Mary, but there's no God for them to pray to. Finally, they're able to break it, though. Finally, the Divine Grace has come through. Ateneo, they're able to overwhelm the site and hang on to this game. So far, it's just neck and neck beef.
Yeah, speaking of the neck, let's see whose neck is definitely going to be a little bit higher up above the water right now. It just looks like DLSU is just barely even up afloat. And now ADMU is definitely getting a lot of the points. Again, scrap points into their favor. So it's a pretty level playing field, especially now that we have our hardpoint at 250, where you can definitely have comeback after comeback. And now everything is leveled on the points. And going in here, we have DLSU Prime. They're positioned pretty well. They have the power positions, bricks. They also have broken walls. So not only that, with an accompany of the Annihilator as well. So it's looking good for P1 going in for the side of DLSU.
Yeah, Ateneo, they're trying to go for this double pinch here. If they're able to take out Vegeta, this is big already. They're establishing that control and the spawn. This is going to be a bloodbath here, but it looks like they're going to be the ones bathing in it. Ateneo already complete control of Fountain. Static trying to make the most out of the Annihilator, making a double and the triple. This is absolutely nutty. He's able to hold on to bricks and he secures it for DLSU. 194, 50 points left for them, and it's looking very, very good. Ateneo, they're grasping at it. They have their rhythm, but DLSU has this adjustment down to a T.
That was a beautiful response from Static. Not only did he hold that really important power position, but he also had an Annihilator to go and assist him to just get all of those kills, which just stopped the push coming in from ADMU. And now again, the rotation comes through, but then take a look at who's rotating early this time going into P2. That is DLSU. Now that is a very hard start coming in from ADMU because this is their baby. P2 is where they had most of their points at, and then ADMU, they just couldn't learn time after time, and DLSU definitely learns quicker than them.
Yeah, and this is a battle of who can snatch the baby out of the cradle. Already, though, Ateneo, they have this coordination and they're throwing everything at them. Annihilator's already available. The triple Annihilator has been brought down, and they're still unable to break through. The Vortex is just slowing them down, but finally, it happens. They just need this spawn, but they're unable to get it. This is the fight of their lives. 225, 25 points left for DLSU. They can't afford to drop a single second on this point beef, and they know it based on how well they're fighting. One by one, Ateneo is lighting up the board. They may be on yellow, but their gunfights are screaming, go for blue.
Oh, this is going to be very difficult for DLSU right now. They're going to be a little bit stuck. As you can see, not only did they not get a lot of points coming in from that P2, they also lost the rotation going into P3 as well. So that's going to be very tricky because the spawns are definitely in the favor of ADMU right now. So the comeback coming in from ADMU is definitely doable, especially since DLSU is kind of struggling to go into that rotation.
This is huge. LG Gav needs to hold on to this, but more importantly, he needs to shut down this push. Fortunately, the team is already there. Ateneo, their synergy right now is insane. They could be able to come away with the very first win on DLSU. They have the hard point and they're holding on, but more importantly, the Gravity Vortex is available. Already shut down, though. They could use it to secure this point because DLSU, they already have it. 9 seconds left on the clock. DLSU has such an incredible hold on this, and that's what gets them this map. They move on, winning the first of this best-of-5 series, but absolutely insane adjustment from them. Even great, like, that was just honestly really great adjustment to Ateneo's game plan there.
Man, Viridis Arcus just wins all of their gunfights. Like, individually, that's the reason why. I mean, I feel like the rotation was a little bit better on Ateneo side, but for DLSU, they're just so good at breaking the hill. And even though, yes, the late rotation, they already know that. They're going to rotate late, get the strap points into whatever hard point they were at, and they're just confident enough in knowing that they will win all of the gunfights. They don't have to worry about early rotations because they know that their opponent is weak when it comes to those gunfights. So, again, I feel like it could have gone either way, and ADMU definitely needs to go and try to win those individual gunfights into the very next match, which we have is Search and Destroy.
Yep, that's gonna be a tricky one. I mean, it's literally the game mode where you are punished the most for bad gunfights, and this is what I like though about Ateneo. As we can see, they came in here knowing how to play against DLSU, having a good idea. They can bring that into SND. Yes, DLSU is confident with their individual gunfights, but they can be punished. Nobody is immortal. And, you know, as in life, in SND, you only have one, and you have to make it count. Ateneo, if they walk in with the same game plan of just that level of coordination, of sticking to that rhythm, they could win. But the danger is, does DLSU already have the read?
They had a really good rhythm. That's the problem with LG Altair. They were able to get that rhythm into the first half, and then they just faltered going into the third rotation of the game. Once we had that third P2 fight, they just lost it. I mean, going into P1 as well, especially with that incredible Annihilator gameplay by Briggs, just stopping every single one of the players of LG Altair. That was just absolutely nuts. And not only that, that push that stopped them going into that rotation going into P2. Viridis Arcus knows this map very well. The fact that if you know that you can stop your plays going in from the left side of the map, they'll have a hard time rotating into P2 as well, and that's where they kind of stopped everything here. And now, taking a look at who we have as our players, Manunu for Ateneo de Manila University and Ipao, definitely a name that you already know for Viridis Arcus. And now for Search and Destroy, guys. Here we go. We're finally swishing it. What are they going to destroy? Is it going to be their ego? Or are they finally going in there? LG Altair has definitely a momentum task.
Yeah, it's monumental. They're going to have to build more than just a monument. They're going to have to build an entire pyramid because it's very difficult. But based on their positioning so far, LG, they just want to play for that first pick because they know they can't win these duels, or at least they don't have that confidence. Is it a dangerous decision, though?
Definitely is. You can see here, Mac 10 definitely at the hands right now. CBR4 also a very overpowered gun. Mac 10 going to be a really interesting gun because from what we saw here into Takeoff, we already know it's a long-range engagement. So let's see how these boys really just go and respond. But speaking of the only girl that we see here, Cole's a really strong player here. Usually known for shredding in respawns, but let's see how she's going to engage going into the defense into Bravo, into Alpha. Wins that gunfight. There you go.
That was close. That was close. I was holding my breath. But unfortunately, I don't have to hold it for long. Viridis Arcus, they're able to make it. And did you notice that moment of hesitation? That was close. Just looking at the minimap and saying, "Oh no, what's happening?" That was difficult. And it's showing you that right now. I think
your
Ateneo.
players drop.
Yeah, Ateneo right now. I think they're not in a good mental position, especially after a game as close as that, because it seems like they're hesitating right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously after that loss going into Hardpoint, it's gonna be pouring over into Search and Destroy right now. But then you can see here, 4 people left in both teams, so that's a really good response. But they need to go in for a different kind of rotation here. You can see the defense coming in from Ateneo not going to be that strong. They're just staying from whatever, and that kind of allows DLSU to move around them. And you can see here Static with a big 2-piece.
Yeah, Static is just lighting things up, and immediately it's just one person left. Manunu wanted to hold on to that angle to prevent rotations, but you gotta hit the gunfight first. You gotta take them out to make the most out of these positions. And right now, Ateneo, they're just it seems like they're just falling into DLSU's rhythm. Like they had a strong start, but the choo-choo train is coming to a halt right now.
You know, the halt is definitely going to be very strong because they basically allowed DLSU to just play around them because they were just staying there in that particular area where you won't have any kind of information whatsoever. But finally, we get to see one person going in there having one opening kill. But yeah, trades after trades, DLSU goes down 3v2 situation, definitely at the favor of Ateneo, and now a 1v3 situation. Now that's going to be very difficult for iPow to go in clutch up, but then he does have a sniper. That is a really good sign here so far. He can just pick them off one by one, but they are sticking together. Now that is a good response coming in from ADMU.
I love this discipline from Ateneo. They respect iPow a lot. So they're not going to go for the hunt, but they are going to look for that information. That's already big enough. Now they can whittle down the chances, whittle down the amounts of entry points and just wait it out. They know he has a sniper. They know he doesn't have much in the way of getting a secure kill, a secure collat, or a secure double kill because he doesn't have that automatic fire advantage. So they're willing to wait and just willing to force that close range engagement, increase their chances of taking a trade. I love the level of caution Ateneo is playing with right now.
Absolutely. And speaking of a level of caution, iPow definitely very cautious, trying to go in for the individual picks, but they definitely know how to play this because they're just staying at Stadium. They're just chilling out over there because they know the bomb is down and they're just defending it really well. And now he decides to go in through A. That's a good sign so far because he does definitely need to go and pick at least one. The information not there. 24 seconds left on the clock. Doesn't really give him that much information. And Wheat finishes him off. Huge, exactly. That is a huge win coming in from LG Altair.
This is the reset for them now. They really that round, we cannot understate how important that round was because at this point, when you're neck and neck, they need every bit of mental advantage they have. And right now, Ateneo looks like with their positioning, they're gonna try to play a little bit more aggressively. That's exactly what they're doing. But immediately shut down iPow with a double. That is a stank trigger on the finger on the trigger right now. And immediately, B is open and wide for the taking. Ateneo, they're gonna have to win the gunfights individually.
And now taking a look at that, let's see what happens with the response of ADMU is. Oh, we get to see Cole spots one, but doesn't really quite get that kill. Tries to go in for another, but doesn't really have that. Doesn't catch the break, but then finally gets the assist. Manunu gets that snipe, so that's a really big kill. Young Jay, definitely really talented at those close range engagements. Finally goes through, but then iPow with the sniper as well takes out Wheat. A 2v4 situation, still very doable for them if they are disciplined in that regard, but then iPow is definitely shredding with the DLQ.
Talk about catching waves, more like catching bodies. That is really great play. But again, we already know what VA is. They are just monsters. They are just gunfighting monsters. But LG, they gotta tighten things up. Like stay away from those long distance engagements because right now it's not doing them any favors. And immediately they're doing just that. They're looking for those corners. They could be playing for retake, but if they're able to take out number 4, that's MJ, this could be really big because right now DLSU, they're playing for that first pick and playing for that information. It's just a matter of who breaks first.
Exactly. And now for DLSU, finally getting that bomb down, they have to get that information like what you said And the information is, oh, it's spread out. ADMU is definitely, this is a definitely better rotation, better play coming in from ADMU, because them just staying into A is definitely very hard, but then they do lose 2 players. Losing those gunfights individually, that is just unfortunate to see.
Yeah, that's tough. They had the right idea, but the execution was lacking, and now they have 2 versus 4. They're gonna have to double up on that confidence and that kill stat, because Static is right there to shock them into reality. That is the big difference maker. Static walking away with 2 that round to close it out. 1-4. Very, very difficult situation if you're LG right now, but there is still hope. Tidying up that, they have the right idea, but LG, they just need to be a little bit more pristine in that execution.
Big. That's what we like to say. When someone makes a big play, that is definitely big. And that's how you kind of commend the players that you see here. They're doing their job. DLSU definitely doing such a tremendous job, but ADMU needs to go and step it up a bit. Oh, they're up in generators. They're stacking generators, but then it doesn't really matter because one goes down. There's no kind of support whatsoever from the team. Why are you stacking generators if you're not going to push as a team? And now they're getting picked one by one. iPow goes in with the sniper. And now let's see if he's going to get another one.
Oh, that's what we were talking about. DLSU, they're comfortable, but Ateneo, they're not punishing them for that comfort. In fact, based on how they're playing right now, they seem to be unraveling at the seams. Manilo, though, this could be the confidence game. Finding 2! This could, he actually has a chance of winning it. This is a 1v1 now. iPow hasn't even planted the bomb. This is huge. This is a massive 1v1. Manunu versus iPow. It's a battle of who can make the biggest difference on that sniper.
Exactly. It's a sniper versus sniper type of gameplay, and iPow going in for the long rotation is probably really, really smart for him, because Manunu wouldn't expect him at the back, because he was like, hey, I just passed by here. There's not going to be anyone here, but then iPow bring out the MW11, tries to go in if he can go for the pistol kill. Manunu is not even looking at direction. And there you go. He's going to be winning this gunfight. Very big.
What? No way!
No! We need to get that perspective. Manunu with a clutch. Clutching up the 1v3 situation. Give this man a medal. Let this man graduate with flying colors already, because that is just a nasty snipe.
That is, as Beef Mommy said, big with a capital B-I-G. All the dots in the middle, the front, and the end. This is the confidence play that they needed right now. And boy, are they making the most of it. Manunu, he's heating up.
Yeah, you do not want that. If you are DLSU, if you clutch up something like that, oh, that's going to be very difficult. The notorious BIG that we got over here, Manunu. Let's see if he can go in for the entry, but then unfortunately for him, one of his teammates goes down. That's player number 2. That's going to be very difficult as one more goes down.
Maybe, unfortunately, maybe we'll get to see part 2 of the Manunu magic. After all, this guy's heating up, but right now, with the 5v2, it's very, very dangerous. Somehow, some way, Manunu still makes it happen, and they're able to secure that bomb. And if they play around this perfectly, they could come away with this impossible round once more. But again, Manunu's just left all alone.
It's going to be difficult. He can't get away with that. They know where he was. Generators is not a safe space for you. You are going to be cornered. And, I mean, he just had all the luck, okay, into the 2 rounds ago, okay? I mean, you just can't clutch up another one, right? Thought that maybe we just need to manifest this. Big. Manunu are going to become big again, but then his other teammates, they need to do something as well. They can't just keep relying on the clutches.
Yeah, definitely, and that's a big part of it. Even if Manunu, even if one player has all of the morale, if everybody's just not feeling it this map, and that's what we're seeing so far from Ateneo, they're just not feeling it. But with Manunu down, Ateneo might just be forced to step it up and make the big difference, make the BIG play. Moving on to player 4, that's MJ. If they can get the drop on him, they can open up B. All right, MJ. What are you going to do? Playing a bit of footsies there. Playing a bit of a waiting game. 3 versus 4. The trade, unfortunately, unable to come through. Everybody's just moving out in open space, and that's not where you want to be when you have iPow just holding things down. MJ holding things down as well. The double sniper setup. Very, very punishing for Ateneo. And right now, it's just a game of hide and seek.
Hide and seek, and let's see who is going to be the hider, who is going to be the seeker. And it just looks like DLSU is the seeker, especially going in for the defense. And ADMU having that bomb, not even planting the bomb just yet, makes the rotation going into launch base. So that's going to be big. They need to have eyes. I mean, that sniper, iPow, is definitely going to be very tricky, especially he's all the way up into health center, where you know it is a hotspot for all the snipers to go and have a really good vantage point.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You need that open area control. You need to be able to move around. Otherwise, you're not going to get very good rotations. But they are going to get the drop, fortunately, on the 4th. That's MJ going down. Finally, the patience pays off. DLSU, again, we were talking about comfort. They got a little bit too comfortable. And now they have to pay for it in blood. Young J and iPow on snipers. They're going to have to deal with these close-range engagements. 35 seconds. Either pick up a gun or pick up a kill.
Young Jay misses his shots, unfortunately for him. That was gonna be a really big shot if he was able to catch that. And now the waiting game is happening, but they need to find a way to go into there. There you go. Wheat goes down. Oh no, Young Jay goes down. You
Trade.
get to see ADMU finally having a trade. Yeah, they need to go in there. It's a 1v2 situation where iPow loses that, and there you go. This is the win that ADMU definitely needed here. Congratulations, you finally have the momentum, and I feel like it was such a shift. You know what? You see a different in personality in this team, especially after having that clutch from Manunu.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing, right? We talked about it earlier. Manunu, you were talking about them not relying on Manunu. As soon as Manunu's off the board, DLSU, they started easing their foot off the gas pedal. And then suddenly, you have that shift in transition from Ateneo. They're doing things well. They're starting to understand how to play this. And Viridis, Arcus, they're in a dangerous position, because iPow is taken out by Wheat. This opens up the middle of the map, possibly for them. Viridis, Arcus, if they catch them off guard, that's it! Viridis, Arcus, they wanted to go for the trick play, they wanted to go for the surprise, but Ateneo, they were ready for it.
Ateneo was patient. They were just waiting in launch base, knowing very well that MJ will overextend, as he usually does, and they're finally learning the tricks of their opponents and definitely applying that to the rounds into the future. And now hopefully DLSU won't be making the same mistake. A 4v3 situation, still very doable for DLSU to win. And now they're the ones that's waiting. As a defense, that's what you do. You don't become really aggressive, but there you go. A full stack going in right now, going in for that rotation. That's going to be a really good start here so far for ADMU.
It's a 5v3, but knowing how Viridis Arcus is very good at these individual gunfights, they could as well make the retake happen. Overextending a little bit from Ateneo gets punished, and this is increasingly looking close for Ateneo. 36 seconds left. They have to tighten things up because Young Jay is just picking them off. That's Manunu down immediately, a 3v3. Just hold things down. Hold the fort down, Ateneo. You got this. But Young Jake is looking to aggress right now. Again, looking for those picks and taking their time. DLSU just playing this very, very, very well. Banana has to make a big boy play. Otherwise, they could lose this game. Already, Vegeta taking out 2. This is what happens. Picking up the 2-piece chicken and the defuse coming out from... The plant coming out from Ateneo just does not push through. Unfortunately, DLSU just a little bit better in those gunfights and positioning.
They keep going for Bravo. It's a very open space, knowing very well that you are even in the numbers. And yes, you can plant in Bravo if you have better numbers or better positioning, or if you know where your opponents are. You already know that the opponents were going into lounge. You know that they were there, but yet you still decide to plant into Bravo. And that's just like, it's crazy to me. You go for Alpha instead. It's a better and more comfy space to be in. And now, taking a look at our next round right now, obviously DLSU having the really good start. One is going to go down. Coles, that's going to be very difficult for them, having that really essential player. And now we have the numbers, but yes, the trade does come through, but still a 3v4 situation.
Well, maybe they can flip this on in its head, because there was a gunfight, but unfortunately unable to win it, as iPow and Vegeta, they just stick close together, going for that little huddle there, and Coles is the last one left alive. You know, speaking of things that they gotta do, right, maybe they need a checklist for the next game, because DLSU, they walk away with this second map as well. It is a best of 5, so after this, it's game over. But, you know, Beef, I would suggest Ateneo just hold on to a checklist, right? You know, have a checklist at hand with what they need to do. Because I feel like Ateneo right now, they're playing chess, right? They're trying to read what DLSU is going to do. Like, they have a good idea of how to make those adjustments happen, but unfortunately, for one way or the other, they just kind of lose it in terms of execution. So what they really need is that laser focus to just keep things tight while at the same time thinking. You know, kind of like where you're talking and eating.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. You better just close your mouth while you chew because all the food's gonna go out and go into your shirt. That's very, very expensive. But anyway, I feel like that round of takeoff and search and destroy, there were bright spots coming in from the side of Ateneo, especially the clutches, the rotations into, I think that was round number 5, where they wanted going into the plant for Bravo, but you can't do the same thing twice in a row, especially going up against a team like Viridis Arcus, where you know they will read you to a T, where they slowed it down. They were winning in terms of the gunfights, but they had the numbers advantage. They took down MJ first, and they know that he was going to overextend, so they rotated all the way up, going into lounge, going into generators, but that's when they faltered. That's when they kind of just, they don't know what to do. So I feel like the play should have been rotate going into Alpha instead of Bravo, because number one, you already expect that they're going to be heavily guarding Bravo because they won that the last round, knowing very well that Viridis Arcus is going to be heavily defending that. So it's just a really, like you said, it's chess at this point.
Yeah. And I don't wanna, you know, dunk on Ateneo because they are actually doing a good job. But VA is doing so much better at executing what's in here versus what's out there. Like, you know how like when you want to ask someone out and you're like, oh yeah, this is how it's gonna go in my head, and then like you're on the way there and then you're not paying attention and you like trip on a rock and then you spill like your Jollibee spaghetti on their shirt. Like, it's kind of like it's an egregious example, but that's kind of the general idea. Sometimes there are situations where you don't expect, like Ateneo with their game plan, that you suddenly have to adjust to. And right now, I think a big factor in that is VA's experience. They both have the tactical mind, but it's the experience that says, hey, if I spill Jollibee on your shirt, do I A, run away and say sorry, or B, do I double down and spill some on mine and go for the charm offensive, right? Like, it's kind of like that. Like, that's the difference between experience.
I love that analogy, and now I want Jollibee spaghetti now. Thank you so much, everyone watching the stream hungry. But anyway, speaking of, I mean, we are down with search and destroy, and we are definitely heading off into domination now. So it's gonna be very tricky to have this because you already know the momentum is definitely into the side of Viridis Arcus, where they won hardpoint, they won search and destroy very convincingly. Where hardpoint was a little bit more like a conversation. It was a back and forth, right? But then in search and destroy, it was a whole monologue where the only ones talking were Viridis Arcus. Bananas.
They had Ateneo strapped down in a chair with a masking tape on their mouth and petting their cat.
With duct tape.
So, hello, Mr. Vaughn. Welcome to my lair.
This is my evil plan.
Yeah, well, speaking of evil plans, Ateneo look like they're formulating one of their own, immediately just going for that fight in trailer, but unfortunately, they don't get much control down that alleyway, because DLSU, they're trying to make that statement as early as they can, controlling mid. This could be big if they can let DLSU hold on to this momentum.
Yes, and there you go. DLSU having a really good position as well. As you can see over here, they are spawning out into firing range. So let me just correct myself. ADMU has a better position right now. It's trailer that they have control of, so that's a really good start here so far. But then you can see as quickly as they had that trailer control, you can see that DLSU just had control of top 10. So again, you can see here, we have no points whatsoever for the side of ADMU. They did not capture C, and now they're finally going in for the scramble. What's happening?
I thought they were gonna. I don't know. I thought they were going for the triple cap, but DLSU, they were able to quickly respond. But that looks like it was a bit of a bait and switcheroni. And speaking of bacon, Ateneo, they're bringing it home right now on this double cap. All they need to do now, hold on to that trailer control, hold on to BNC, and they could be moving breezy on this domination game.
That was a really good start coming in from ADMU because they just sacrificed C, sacrificed capturing a home flag, and went all the way into the power positions trying to stop DLSU going in for that Bravo push. So good start, yes, and let's see how well they can go and hold Bravo and Charlie. But if you guys do know, firing range, Charlie is a more favored map because of your access going into trailer and tin. Top 10 is definitely going to be that power position that you want. But then you also have tower.
Yep. Yep, that's yep, definitely. Hi, we'll be back with Beef Mommy. I'll be continuing that point. Yeah, the tower position is huge. Being able to control that mid just leaves them so many options to rotate in, leaves them so much information. And right now, DLSU, they're trying to take things back. Finally on that double cap, but unfortunately for them, we have the Predator coming out just to hold on to that home flag. DLSU, they could be going for that triple cap, but just as easily they use it. They lose it, rather. DLSU, they are just fighting so far, but they do have a bit more control over CND. They do have a bit of a better spawn there because Ateneo, they just can't get into those power positions. DLSU, they're just mowing every attempt at trailer down, and that's the last thing we want to see again. MJ just holding on to that top tin, absolutely broken. Tower, rather, absolutely broken. They finally shut him down, but the damage has been done. DLSU, they are moving in for this lead. Let's remember, ladies and gentlemen, everybody out and in between, this is DLSU's winning game. It's a 2-0 out of a best of 5. Ateneo, they have to step it up because DLSU already, they have that triple cap, and that is the danger here. Ateneo, they had that strong start, they had that rhythm, but once again, they just faltering in the middle of it all. And we're left with a triple cap from DLSU. DLSU, they're just making a statement right now. They're completely comfortable in domination. I mean, look at the way that they're moving around this map, making sure they hold on to these power positions, making the best use out of their score streaks. Already we have Vegeta on 2 score streaks, and just as quickly they make it a 75-50, a resoundingly strong start coming from Viridis, Arcus. Ateneo, they're just having so much trouble keeping up right now with how well DLSU is just able to shove them off these power positions.
Definitely the propositions that you definitely have, and yes, hello, I'm back. You're finally going and have yes. The action was too much, and I thought ADMU was gonna have a lot more points coming back into this, but DLSU definitely had the response. So now that Viridis Arcus will have a stronger side, that is gonna be deadly for ADMU because they're starting off in Alpha, which you already know is gonna be very difficult. As you can see here, DLSU stretched out very far, but then they are losing some of their gunfights, so that's gonna be very big for ADMU for them to go and capture. Alpha, unfortunately, not going to be captured fully right now by DLSU, but finally getting that. A lot of points already. Full stack going into Bravo. So again, ADMU's fighting for their life right now in domination.
Yeah, and this is the thing. We were talking about momentum and how good they are at starting the game, but they're having so much trouble holding onto that momentum just because of losing those key positions, losing trailer, just letting DLSU run it down the middle. That's just too much. And on top of them just trying their best to control spawns, but being unable to because they're spread too thin right now.
Yeah, spread too thin is where they need to go and try to go for a point as a team, because right now they're stuck in firing range. They can't even go past that line. If you draw a line going in from A horizontally, they have trouble going and pushing there from the side of DLSU. And now for ADMU, they are just sitting pretty, especially with that 2-cap. But then for some reason, they just leave Charlie open. They leave Charlie a little bit too open. The information doesn't come through, and now they have to go and rush going into Charlie. But it's a good thing for them. Only one person will try to go and make a difference. That's number 1, Young Jay. Tries to go in there, but it's a good thing he does go down. So ADMU having a really good hold in B and C so far. The flip was on their side.
Yeah, and we already have operator skills available as well. The Annihilator is there, as well as I think a Predator on Wheat. So this could be big for them to just stop DLSU from getting that triple cap, getting that double cap. I mean, earlier DLSU had a really strong response, had a really strong transition, but right now they're just not getting in that rhythm, which again, you do not want to give up to Ateneo, which they clearly have.
Yeah, definitely. Now, BNC looks like DLSU is going to be trying to cap that. We have number 2 trying to go in there. Static tries to go in there into American. He's just sitting there looking pretty. Tries to go in there for the really secretive kills. He finally gets one. He's going to get another one because number 4 wouldn't know where he's got it. There you go. The flip finally comes through. Not only that, the Bravo push as well. But then you can see here how strong top 10 truly is, because if you have top 10, you will have control over Bravo and Charlie and DLSU. They just can't grab a hold of those really quickly.
Yeah, and look at the pressure. Look at the pressure they're just putting on A. They're threatening DLSU with a triple cap. And DLSU right now, they're at a loss. They're completely confused. They don't know what to do. Yes, they're good at gunfights, but right now, the strategic advantage mentally is clearly in terms of Ateneo, because they were losing at the front half of this map, but somehow they're able to turn it around. Unfortunately, DLSU, they're capturing the B flag, and they actually get it. There's a minute and a half left. Plenty of time for DLSU to walk away with this map. After all, Ateneo, they don't have the favorable spawn. They looks like they're getting stuck in firing range, and the Predator's already down. Operator skills are already out. This is a very, very bad situation for Ateneo. If they're able to capture that A, it could be big, but unfortunately, again, the Pred just absolutely denies that. They have to make a decision here, Ateneo, either capture A or B, because they need to double down if they want to survive in this series past round 2.
Looks like Bravo is the name of the game for the side of ADMU. Strong defense so far, but that's stopped right now by MJ, especially with the Annihilator in hand and with the Dragonfire up in the air. It's going to be very difficult, but they finally do get to capture Bravo. But for how long? Not for too long. But then taking a look at Pylon, they are trying to go in there for that defense, but then it doesn't really work out because they don't have control over top 10, which is going to be very difficult. And now it's DLSU. The ball is in their court. They finally have a hold of A in Bravo, which they don't even need Charlie right now. All they need to do is just cap one, and then it's just really quick at this moment. You can see here, DLSU having that win, 150 and 144, the closest game that we have so far. A 3-0 for the green, for the Archers, bringing the blue to the lower brackets where the C, a lot more teams, which is going to make it a little bit more difficult for them to try and secure a seed to Conquest 2022.
That is a sweep for DLSU once more, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about Ateneo, right? Let's talk about what they did right. Let's talk about what they did right, because like it looks like DLSU is invincible, but if there's anything Ateneo proved, they're proving that they can hang up there with the pros. They're basically just as good. They just gotta tighten things up. We were talking earlier about how on SND they have this particularly nasty habit. When they know something is working, they'll keep forcing it even when it stops working. And it's that pivotal micro decision that eventually caused them to lose the last round, to just lose that last bit of comeback. Because DLSU started saying, oh, they're doing the same thing they're doing in SND. Let's all stack. Let's all stack B. They can't kill all of us. We just need to hold on to it for like 5 seconds. And that was the biggest difference maker in this game, honestly. It was that last minute decision. But if Ateneo just tightens that up, we could find ourselves maybe seeing a rematch in Grand Finals? Conquest, maybe?
Question mark? I don't know. We're not sure if the Conquest Finals would be a green versus blue, a green versus green, a green versus maroon. We don't know yet because we only have like, what, 2 days left, so we are down with game number 1, where we did get to see a really clean sweep, but I feel like that domination matchup, that was so close. That was what?
Yeah.
How many points in between them with the win? LG Altair just slipped at the very last moment, and they have such an explosive start to each round. Like, I was gone for like a little bit into the first half, so please enlighten me what happened. They had such a stronghold into Bravo and Charlie, but how did they lose it?
Oh, it was definitely just them being overeager. I think they got a bit greedy. They overextended into firing range because they wanted to push them further into alpha, just to make sure that they could cement that control over B, prevent that mid push from firing range. Because DLSU is aware they can win those duels. If they can win those duels down mid, and if they can take control of that trailer, that's basically it for the hold coming from Ateneo. And that's basically what they were doing. Ateneo, unfortunately, they dropped the ball. They had the right idea, but the execution, and oftentimes, and sometimes from time to time, the timing at which they execute those ideas, they just don't work out.
Exactly. I mean, at that point, you just need to be having really solid team comms. And for the side of ADMU, I feel like they just needed to work on it just a little bit. I think it showed so much into Search and Destroy, where Hardpoint and Domination, they had a little bit of a better time. So it looks like the respawns, they're pretty good at. It's just I feel like polishing those micro decisions really did matter for them because they kept trying to over push, trying to go in for the triple cap where they only just needed to sit back and go in for the 2 cap hold, and it worked out for them when they just sat still, and then they just allowed DLSU to come up from behind them because there were so many great moments especially into that domination round. May I add that I feel like ADMU could have had it, but anyway, speaking of a really great start here, Alliance teams will be competing across different games titles. And we've already been seeing it in the past few weeks where their victories will have corresponding points on the Alliance leaderboards. And the top 5 in the Alliance leaderboards, aka the All 5, will receive an AcadArena scholarship and aid. So that's going to be really exclusive to their campus, and it's worth 30,000 pesos. So that's definitely a big deal for all these students because an organization kind of like AcadArena, we don't really get to see that often. So I'm really thankful that we have orgs like this to give students a way to help their schooling, and not just that, but to do something that they love.
Yeah, I mean, support. I love AcadArena just because, you know, this was not possible. I mean, like in our day, in our time, we never would have.
No, that's for real. Yeah. Back in our day, we did not have that.
Yeah, dude. You would get your booty beat black and blue for playing games and yelling at a monitor.
That's a caster.
Yeah. Hi, black
I
and
love
blue.
that caster. Yeah.
Hi, man. Yeah, but like, thank you so much, AcadArena, and again, of course, to our sponsor, Globe Telecom. I mean, like, again, of course, our loving fans, our loving supporters. Thank you so much for just making everything possible. Wouldn't be possible without you guys. And with that, I mean, there's still so much more to come, both from AcadArena and, of course, today's Alliance games. But for now, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
In AcadArena, I broke through solo queue and became a team player.
In AcadArena, I broke through my comfort zone and became more social.
In AcadArena, I break through my hardship and become more confident.
In AcadArena, I was able to break through my shy and timid self and turn into a student leader, kinda.
In AcadArena, before I was lost, but because of the org, I was able to find my passion.
Happy birthday, AcadArena. Continue breaking through the stigma of video games and academics.
Happy birthday to...
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99. 8 gigs for all sites, plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo, even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena, it's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo, even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena is not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
For they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo, even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena is not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
For they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo, even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses
In different parts of the Philippines.
they would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena is not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses
In different parts of the Philippines.
they would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena is not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, Pylon gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Pylon freshies, Pylon gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Pylon freshies, Pylon gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo, even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena, it's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses
In different parts of the Philippines.
they would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo, even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena, it's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses
In different parts of the Philippines.
they would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students
games featuring Call of Duty Mobile, co-presented by Globe. Dubbed by the community as the UAAP/NCAA of esports, Alliance student clubs from across the Philippines are #AllG to compete in multiple esports titles and represent their campus. I am Miss Erin, together with me is Gas Talks Fast, and we are going to be your shoutcasters for today's matches.
Hi, Miss Air. Yeah, so due to certain circumstances, right now we'll be starting the game at a 0-2 in favor of Fit the Sig, and I'm honestly really excited, really excited to see these two teams compete. After all, this tournament, despite despite certain situations, I mean, it's still a hot one right now. This is the losers bracket. A lot to lose. Your slot at getting a chance at finals is one of them. So I'm honestly just pumped, and I'm really glad that again this tournament was brought by AcadArena and of course co-presented by Globe Telecom, the official telco sponsors. On top of hot teams and plays, you have a chance to win a battle pass and 1k worth of CP or even a full lucky draw. So watch out for that. After all, Alliance teams do compete across different game titles. So it's not just here where you're gonna be winning freebies. It's not just you, rather, as well. It's our players, because across all of those titles, victories have corresponding points on the Alliance leaderboard, and the top 5 on the Alliance leaderboards will receive an AcadArena scholarship aid listing exclusive to their campus students worth 30,000 pesos. So that's definitely something to watch out for. But with that being said, let's get back to the game. What are your thoughts, Miss Air?
Well, you know what? It's my first time to actually see Eclipse like just play it out here on AcadArena. We have seen them in the challenge, and they did win that. So this is going to be interesting. Personally, I know the guys from Fit the Sig, and I know that these guys, I mean, you know what? They start out slow, but in the middle of the game, their strategies just come out always. And you know, the playmakers of the team, we did see Unknown earlier, as well as Recta for Eclipse. So it's definitely something to look out for. Right now, it's a 10-12 domination, firing range. I actually just want to talk about their map picks for this one. It's interesting that both teams, they ban specific maps, especially like Summit. I know that these teams, they are very much strong in those close range gunfights, so it's interesting to see them play it out on big maps like this. There you go, just like that, 15-17 with Eclipse trying to get a full capture on the Bravo flag, but that's going to be prevented by Fit the Sig. This is going to be a close game for me.
Well, I think that DLSU right now, they're fighting for that C and that control over trailer. They could be getting it so far. After all, they're working towards a spawn closer there to the wooden house area. It looks like they have it. The double cap already in favor of Viper, though. I think right now the Fit's best option is to just shove Viper off those power positions. Bonito has a great angle right now, but the question is, are they able to hold on to it long enough? Because for them to get value out of that, they need to survive, as Shelby already has killed.
We are seeing trades across the just trades on trades, and this is actually good. You know that both teams are on fire, and they are heated. Both teams mechanically skilled players. It's interesting because at the end of the day, we're going to be seeing like what strategies are going to be best right now. Like what we said, Fit the Sig, these guys are very much good strategists, and they are playing it out. 35-40, again, close game, Gast. This is at this point, I'm just not sure as who is going to be winning. But you know what? If I were in the shoes of Eclipse, I battle it out, like just go full on and make sure that I have a triple capture. But there you go, like what we said, Fit the Sig on that triple capture. Even if it's just a little bit of time, that's already going to bleed Viper Eclipse a lot of points, and let's just see on how they're going to be doing well on the second round, if they're going to be able to actually catch up with the gameplay that Fit the Sig is giving us.
I think they should. I think at 0-2, you should be thinking more about catching up. You should be thinking about getting ahead. And that's exactly what Viper is doing right now. They're trying their best to get ahead, but the death grip from the Sig immediately challenged, and DLSU, Viper CSB rather, are flipping the game on its head, securing a better spawn for themselves along the way.
Securing a better spawn indeed, but you know what? We are going to be reaching that 70 score mark, and we are going to be seeing these teams battle it out in round 2 domination. You know what? 54-73. It's not much big of a discrepancy, but you know, if you're already given that triple capture in the first round, you best believe that Fit the Sig is not going to give you any type of situation wherein you're going to be able to triple cap them. So if I were Viper Eclipse, I have to make sure that I have all of the power positions down and make sure that I win all of those gunfights. Those operator skills are going to be coming in handy as well. This is just going to be interesting. 55 to 75. Who is Viper Eclipse going to be actually capable of getting that triple capture just for them to push a game number 4?
They need it. They need to do it. They need to do it, Miss Air. But the Sig, right now they just have everything on lock. And look at how the Sig is playing. We don't normally see we were talking about it earlier. The Sig, they love their organized chaos, but right now they're just organized and playing the game that they need so that they can win. They're just playing for the win.
Playing for the win, indeed. I mean, you're literally one game away from finals. You have to get this, but there you go. Viper Eclipse with a double capture. That might just be just a single capture again. The Sig, again, they're not letting go of those power positions. We are seeing one player on tower. We are seeing one player on trailer. Those are the power positions crucial for the gunfights of the team, especially when it comes to firing range. But there it goes, 71 to 81. They just need in terms of gunfight, I know that these guys are really great, but Viper Eclipse, they have to start getting organized from here on. They have to stop losing the Bravo flag. If they are continuously losing the Bravo flag, I would suggest for them to actually push the Charlie flag and then have your resources go on to B, just so there's a diversion going on.
Yeah, that's you said it masterfully. I mean, they can already they can clearly rely on 151 to hold things down on tower and keep B safe. I mean, the cluster is there right now, so that's a lot of control. So if they can put the pressure on the Sig, they could break the Sig rhythm and walk away with the game 4. They're capturing B already. They need that third.
They need that third indeed, especially we are going to be reaching that 100 score mark. This is not going to be looking too good for Viper Eclipse. I mean, if you look at the map right now, you know that Fit the Sig has the best control. They have the better control compared to Viper Eclipse. They know their spots and they know their positions well, and Viper Eclipse, they're at risk of getting spawn trapped every single time. And there you have it. Viper Eclipse is going to try and get that Charlie flag. Let's see if they're going to be able to be successfully getting that. They might get a triple cap. There you have it. Viper Eclipse on the run with a triple cap on the scoreboard. They might just be able to close down the discrepancy and score. Fit the Sig, what can you do?
Look at them, they're trapped, they're stuck in firing range. This is not where you want to be, especially against a team that's so good at anchoring. I mean, you can't call into question how good they are at holding down what they need to hold down. Already the smoke spam just to stop the bleeding, just to slow this game down, but they're unable to do it. They can't get that rhythm, and now Viper, they're picking up the pace. They are not dying, and they are not allowing themselves to lose a single bit of that favorable spawn.
There you have it. A triple cap this long. Best believe that Viper Eclipse can actually turn this game around. They might have lost round 1, but definitely in round 2, they just have everything under control. And that's what we saw. It was a long capture. It was a long hold for a triple cap. And that's not going to be really good for Fit the Sig here. But this is going to be interesting because they want to force onto a game number 4. And we're going to be seeing that. I know that we're going to be seeing that. 132 to 113. You just have to hold down your positions. But right now, Fit the Sig was able to actually capture A and C. They are going to get that halfway through. Bravo flag. Krishna here with the goalie. Is she going to be able to capitalize well on this? But no, Viper Eclipse is going to be retaking the Bravo flag. Currently just slaying it out here onto A. The goalie is going to be taken out of the equation. Jake here with a CBR4 tries to fight for his life. Unfortunately loses. 140 mark for Viper Eclipse. Fit the Sig. What can you do?
Oh my gosh, it's just a back and forth, and it's looking to be very close. But if the Sig, they don't get this third point, third cap, it's very difficult for them to end this game because CSB, they're just forcing it now, and it's a question of who can keep their composure, because right now Chekwa is doing a good job at getting there, but the question is how long is he going to be able to survive, because again, Viper is shutting him down, and immediately they're able to win. And we go into a game 4. We go into game 4.
Just like
I'm
that.
amazed.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, like we were also talking about how Fit the Sig is a team that is usually like very much good in the middle of the game or late game, but Viper Eclipse might have been better at this point. I mean, for you to be able to just get a triple capture and get that hold for a long time, that's already big for your team. They were able to close off the discrepancy, and you just know that Viper Eclipse, they are in it to win it. They just didn't want Fitnessig to actually have a chance onto that, so they're going to be forcing a game number 4 from us. If I'm not mistaken, that's going to be hardpoint slumps. And you know what? We have seen these powerful anchors from Fitnessig. That's going to benefit them. But right now, Viper Eclipse, they have to, they have to start off strong, especially coming into hardpoint, because you can't have the anchors of Fitnessig just, breaking your rotations down.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. You put it there perfectly. I mean, the biggest difference maker, what led to the triple cap that lasted long enough for them to come back, was simply the power of their anchors. Viper, they knew what they were doing. They took control of the game slowly by locking areas down with their anchors, and then from there, it's just cake. It's just holding everything down. And the Sig, they kind of lost out because they just spread their resources out. I'm getting excited. Resources out a little bit thin. Choking on my words because I'm excited. They spread themselves out a little bit too thin, and it was a mistake that eventually cost them the game. But hey, when you're up ahead by 2 points, 1 away from the entire series, I mean, you can afford to make a mistake or two. But
it's they can't be doing the same mistakes over and over again, because it's costing their game. Because right now, I mean, the fighting spirit of Viper Eclipse, we have to hand it to them. They were down round number 1, and again, we were talking about it. The discrepancy in score was, it wasn't that big. And for them to actually move on to round number 2, get a hold onto the triple capture for long enough to be able to close off that discrepancy and eventually give them that boost that they needed late game, that's already huge for them. And then let's look into the players of each team. We do have Sonic and Monsi as well. Forfeit the Sig. And now we're going to be heading on over to Hardpoint Slums. But before that, the best time with Globe Prepaid's Go Plus 99 and get a total of 16 gigabyte data. That's 8 GB for all your favorite gaming apps and 8 GB for all sites and only on net for 7 days. So make sure to download the new Globe One app now. Register, and here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be moving on to game number 4, Hardpoint, right here on Slums. This is going to be Viper Eclipse versus Fit the Sig.
Oh yeah, and we were talking about this earlier. Viper has 2 things to their name. 1, it's aim. 2, it's brain. Dasig is Dasig is in for a tough time, but with their level of unpredictability and dynamism, they do have a good chance at breaking open this point. But right now, Jike is shut down immediately. Czech was doing a good job at holding things down so far. That allows them to. Fortunately, the Sig allows themselves a chance to get in. Right now, they have great control on Broken and Brick, and that's such a tough break for Viper right now.
And you know what, in terms of spawn, I do believe that Fit the Sig has a better spawn here. They are going to be able to actually get on to that hardpoint for scrap time. We did see one of the players of Fit the Sig on to that back part. Let's see Rosso here trying to defend that next hard point, but is going to be taken down by Chekwa right away. Those Mac 10s and Hokers are they're just playing it out on the hill. And there you go, Krishna is going to go for the break, and that's it. 53 seconds remaining on the clock. The point is going to be free from anyone, but there you go. Viper Eclipse is going to be hopping on that. Donito, what can you do? He goes in from the back, successfully goes in for that flank, tries to go in for the hip fire, unfortunately gets shut down immediately right on the hill. 24-32, Fit the Sig on the hill.
And they have the spawn as well. Look at that. Nobody contesting the spawn here. Viper, they just want to duel their way into this situation, but it's a death funnel from them as Fit the Sig have no problem mowing them down. You're walking into the wood chipper and you are free feeding them. That is mulches all over Viper. Right now, they're just desperately trying to get onto the point because they are desperate to stay in this series. But the Sig, they're just playing solid defense. It's a bit of a flip situation right now.
Situation indeed, and there you go. An early rotation is going to be coming in from Viper Eclipse, but how long are they going to be able to actually hold this down? Chekwa with the Sparrow, is she going to be able to actually capitalize on this? You know, this is a waste of operator skill right then and there.
Oh no!
Because that was too
Oh, no.
early, and there you have it. He is going to be taken out of the equation. Russell with the double kill on the hill. That's going to be Fit the Sig on the hill as well, as far as we know. And there you go, turn 24 to 68. With Fit the Sig on the hill, the contestment is going to be coming in from Viper Eclipse as well, but they need to hold this down. The Gravity Vortex is going to be coming in. Nams is going to be able to get 2 kills in a row, and Krishna is also going to be taken out of the equation right on the hill. 33 seconds remaining on the clock. You know what? What I'm seeing from Viper Eclipse is that they're pushing from one angle, which you really don't want as much as possible. You want to get rid of those anchors first, free up the back spawn, and then if you have the spawns in favor for your team, then you can push as a team from the back. You can't repeatedly just push in the same angles again and again because it's going to be predictable, and that's what we're seeing now. 24 to 94. The scrap time might just be going in for Viper Eclipse, but there you go. An early rotation is going to be coming in. How long are they going to be able to hold this?
I don't think they're gonna be able to hold it for long because they're all dead. I mean, Viper, they're having such a hard time. You talked about them going in from the back, but how can you get in the back when the first thing you go is into the unknown, just shutting everybody down? Right now, Rosso just having the time of his life, mowing everybody down, finding one, finding two. Will he find a third? Unfortunately not, but does his job accordingly. 105 to 26. It's looking very dangerous, very bad here for Vorpal, and still they haven't shut down Rosso with the Sparrow, keeping it fresh. 107, more than enough time, and Dasig, they're happy to walk away with a victory with a super hold like that, because right now Viper, they're stacked and it's not a great position to be in with the wraparound from Unknown.
There you go. Jake having a difficult time getting onto that Sparrow, but there you have it. Krishna is going to be holding off this, but she's not going to be able to capitalize on that operator skill as well. 13 seconds remaining on the clock. 38 to 113 on the scoreboard. Mind you, this is a 250 hardpoint game, so you know what? Anything can happen. In terms of scoring, you know what? It's also very much different when it comes to 150 versus 250 because there's a lot more room for you to actually, you know, get onto what you're doing, what mistakes you're doing, and to actually, you know, realize that in the middle of the game and strategize for the next rotation. And there you go. The hardpoint is going to be identified. We're going to see a reset on the first hardpoint. Chekwa is going to be taking out two. Is she going to be able to actually capitalize on the Sparrow this time? Gets one, unfortunately. That from the back. 58 to 123. The hardpoint is being contested by both teams. This is an interesting play. They are going trades on trades, but right now 126. This is a huge lead for Fit the Sig.
I just want to point out how well Benito is just navigating this entire map. You see Benito making this huge difference, taking these 1v1 gunfights, taking these ego chows every single time and converting on them. Benito's just been huge, absolutely huge this entire game. And now we see an early rotation from Fit the Sig. They have the points, they can afford to give it up because they love that spawn and they've been uncontested on it so far on P2 here.
Definitely. You know, one of the differences that I have seen from Viper Eclipse versus Fit the Sig is that, you know, Fit is not afraid to actually flip the spawns or actually take their time to actually go in for the backstab or go in for the flank. And that's exactly how they were able to actually penetrate through the second hill. But there you have it. Nams, Gravity Vortex is ready for him to go. He is going to get that spray down, gets one kill, but unfortunately Shelby is going to be taking him out of the equation. 74 to 150. This is a closer discrepancy in terms of score. Chekwa tries to get rid of that anchor from the back, successfully does. So Rosso is going to be taken out. And I mean, Jack is going to be taken out right there. Unknown is going to be going in for the spray here on the front part of the hill. Spots one opponent, gets that successful kill. And now, again, it's Fit the Sig on the hill. But there you go. The contestant is going to be coming in from Viper Eclipse, going in from the back. It's a matter of who's gonna have the stronger OBJ at this point. But right now, what we're seeing is that both teams are just stacking all of their players on the hill. With 11 seconds remaining on the clock, and Fit the Sig is already onto the early rotation onto the third hill.
It's starting to look dangerous for Fit the Sig, Miss Air.
Right.
I mean, you see how they're giving up these points? That adds up. You can only do that so much before it becomes incredibly punishing to make a mistake. And the margin for error is increasingly shrinking every time they give up that scrap time. They really have to hold on to this hill because this could be the turnaround. Fortunately, nobody has any operator skills aside from them. So if they use that to hold on to this point, this could be game.
Definitely. I mean, those operator skills are already coming out, and you know what, Viper Eclipse, they have nothing left here, and they might just get spawn trapped. 2 OBJs for the side of Fit the Sig. 179 to 98, 33 seconds remaining on the clock. Nams as the OBJ spots one opponent, gets that major assist, is going to be taken out of the equation. 26 seconds remaining. Unknown again as the reliable anchor of Fit Dasig. He knows his spawns, but unfortunately he's going to be taken out. That might take a toll on the team as well, but right now the contestment is not coming in from VPR Eclipse. We are about to reach that 200 mark. Again, this is scrap time for the side of CSB VPR Eclipse. They need to have people onto the next rotation and actually contest it as much as they can, make it into their money hill, and actually close off the discrepancy even more.
Oh yeah, this is not looking good for Viper though. It's 3 versus 4. They're gonna have to make a big play here because Jake already finding one. Do they find the other? Yes, they do, and they take Mechanic just like that. And again, we've seen how good Dasig is holding on, how good Dasig holds on to points. Right now, Viper, they're just trying to hold on to a good spawn here. They're trying their best.
They're trying their best indeed, but then, like, you know what? Usually the back spawn is the better spawn for this hill specifically, and Unknown is not letting that go. Rosso and Bonito on the hill, just getting all those kills in. Again, the Gravity Vortex is already ready to go. And then those operator skills and their score streaks are just ready to go as well. A cluster is in for Nams. Are they actually going to be deploying this? 230 mark for the side of Fit Dasig. This is not looking too good for VPR Eclipse. Just 20 more seconds remaining. Sonic is going to be going in with a Sparrow. Gets that scrap time yet again. And we are going to be seeing another hardpoint reset onto the first hill. Now, this is make it or break it for Viper. And you know what? Exactly. That cluster strike. This is one of the most open spaces for that cluster strike. And one that gets deployed. There you have it. That is going to be taking that out. Viper Eclipse is not going to be able to actually penetrate through the hill. Not unless you have a bunch of people on Flak Jacket. Maybe you can contest for a little bit. But there you go. 119, 244. Just 5 seconds remaining for Fit Dasig. This is going to be game. Are we going to be seeing these guys? Or is it going to be an epic comeback for VPR Eclipse? 248 to 249. And that's it. That is game. Fit Dasig. We are going to be seeing you guys on Conquest for 5.
I just want to point out, congratulations, of course, congratulations, Fit Dasig. Nice try, honestly, from Viper. But like at the end of the day, you know, it's really difficult to come back, but they did a phenomenal job nonetheless. Miss Air, can I just say, it was a funny situation because as soon as it hits 240 and someone has a cluster strike on their team, you can basically forget about that P1 winning that P1 rotation because it's a 5-second. It is a 5-second score streak that kills everybody, and you only need to be there for 10 seconds. So there's really not much you can do. I felt so bad watching it. I was just like, unless they can manage to like somehow survive being in the cluster, it was pretty much game. But like again, it shows how much, honestly, I'd like to commend Dasig because they've really developed throughout this entire tournament. Especially props to Bonito, who has been playing that support role so well to secure the spawns, to help assist that Slayer and make sure Viper doesn't spawn in a dangerous area, that Viper doesn't get free contest, free challenges. So props to Benito. I mean, that was phenomenal support playing right there. Such flexibility, and honestly, to the entire team of Dasig, they've improved so much in terms of discipline, in terms of approach, in terms of game plan. It was a well-deserved win, and I'm super excited to see how they fare in the next stage of this tournament.
And mind you, for casters predictions, we did vote for VPR Eclipse. So this is a little bit.
It's awkward. It's a little awkward.
This is a little bit awkward, but hey, Fit Dasig, they came in here. They did have that lead, but they showed us that it's not, you know, they did sit pretty. They weren't too comfortable in their shoes. They didn't sit pretty. They weren't too comfortable. They still battled it out. They still won those gunfights, and they proved to us again and again that strategy is always going to be beating mechanical skill, and that's what we saw today. And that is interesting. From domination, they did lose domination quite, you know, a triple cap for that long. It's a little bit nerve-wracking for them too, but you know what, they just needed one win. They went into Slums hardpoint, and they had that goal in mind, and then you know what, let's finish it. And they did finish it. So GG's, well played Fit Dasig. GG, well played VPR Eclipse. You know what? You guys are clearly the fan favorite. And our
I voted for them too. I was like, wow, this is what it's like to be wrong.
Right? So, you know what? We are going to be seeing more of you guys in the future. This is something to learn from. And you know what? You guys are really skilled. You guys are really great. It's just that Fit the Sig, they're just mentally, they were there. Like, they were ready, they conquered, and they were ready to go. And you know what? They just had SMX in their minds. Conquest 2022 this month, you guys. So speaking of which, the Alliance Games Finals will be held live at Conquest 2022, happening on July 23 to 24. So at Conquest, you will get the chance to watch the All G finalists battle it out on stage, meet your favorite gaming and esports personalities. No biggie. And enjoy a lot of different programs and activities for all kinds of gamers. So stay tuned for Conquest updates at the official Facebook page, www.facebook.com/PH. And hopefully we see you guys there.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses
In different parts of the Philippines.
they would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo, even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses
In different parts of the Philippines.
they would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo, even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses
In different parts of the Philippines.
they would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses
In different parts of the Philippines.
they would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament. Inorganize niya ito with a student club in her campus na ginabayan namin all the way. And that's how they met. That's what we do here in AcadArena.
We turn gamers into leaders, casters, breadwinners. AcadArena. It's not just play.
Pag pinanghihinaan na tayo ng loob, where do we go? We go where our power lies. With Go Plus 99, 8 gigs for all sites plus 8 gigs for our favorite apps. Let's own the future with Globe Prepaid.
This is Filippo.
This is Jessica.
Parehong freshies, parehong gamers. Gusto ni Filippo maging next big caster.
Si Jessica naman wants to make the biggest esports tournament in their campus.
But they don't know where to start.
They're also from different campuses.
In different parts of the Philippines.
They would have never met. If not,
For AcadArena.
In AcadArena, we help students meet, collaborate, and learn all the hype and wonder ng gaming at esports.
Dito, naging caster si Filippo even just for that afternoon. He met students with the same dream, attended our workshop, and we funded a tournament where they can debut.
That was Jessica's tournament.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the stream. I know it's been a while, but you know what? We're back here. The action is going to be even hotter. And of course, welcome to the Alliance Games featuring Call of Duty Mobile, co-presented by Globe, dubbed by the community as the UAAP or NCAA of esports. Alliance students clubs from across the Philippines are #AllG to compete in multiple esports titles to represent their campus. Then again, it is I, Beef Mommy, coming back from the grave, eating chicken joy while watching everything unfold with me today, Miss Air. The day has come. We definitely have good luck today because it looks like it's a really good matchup, and I'm so excited to finally cast with you.
I'm also excited to actually cast with you. Just a little bit of technical difficulty there, but we're back.
A little bit too excited.
A little bit excited, but we're going to actually see the third matchup for tonight. It's going to be Malayan Warlocks versus Pylon Phantoms. That's Malayan colleges versus and now we're going to be seeing their map pick. So for map number 1, Hardpoint, that's going to be Standoff. Map number 2, Search and Destroy, Raid. Map number 3, Domination, Summit, and then Firing Range and Summit. What are your thoughts on these map picks?
Ooh, okay, so I like what I'm seeing because I don't want Hacienda or Slums anywhere in this map rotation. So it's all just classic map mode that we really like to see, what we've been seeing the past few years in pro play. And now we've had a very interesting first game. I feel like everyone kind of assumed that we'd have like an easy sweep, but obviously a while ago from Fit Dasig versus CSB, everyone didn't expect it at all, but obviously it's because of like issues when it comes to forming the team. But we have a clean match right now, Malayan versus PUP Pylons, where I am not quite sure who to pick. I feel like, remember Miss Air when they asked us in the group chat, who are you rooting for, Malayan Warlocks or Pylon Phantoms? At first I was like, maybe the Warlocks might get it, but then someone in the chat said, oh, someone from VVV is actually in Phantoms right now who just got sub. So what are your thoughts about that? Because for me, I feel like that's a big jump getting Aishi into PUP.
I feel like, of course, that's going to affect their team play as a whole. You know, if you have a pro player on the team, that's really going to affect your team play. And like, you know, if you have someone mechanically skilled like that, that's definitely going to actually, you know, be at your advantage for some reason. But you know what, I actually chose Malayan Warlocks just because of how well they play as a whole, as one unit. I have seen this, guys. I haven't seen Pylon Phantoms, but I know I've casted Malayan Warlocks multiple times already ever since the start of the whole competition, and I know that regardless of how slow they start, they're like Fit Dasig. Regardless of how slow they start, they always manage to actually pull through in the middle of the game. So these are more of like a late game players, and like I know that these are good strategists as well. For Pylon Phantoms, I'm not sure. Of course, they do have that one person from VVV, and that might just, you know, change their cards for tonight. But we're gonna be seeing that, you know, it always depends on the execution. You know, sometimes it doesn't matter on who your lineup is, as long as the other team, or as long as one team has a specific like good chemistry, then they're probably going to win it out. But here you go, we're going to be seeing the team, the playmakers of each team. We have Marstella for PUP Manila and JM, if I'm not mistaken, for the side of Malayan Warlocks. And here you go. This is going to be Hardpoint Standoff, match number 1.
And yeah, standoff here in Hardpoint, and you brought up really good points there. And obviously with Fit Dasig, like you said a while ago, they had a really good start, even though, yes, they kind of slow in the beginning. You know, when it comes to the Warlocks, they're going to end it really well. But obviously 250 Hardpoint is going to be a very, very different deal compared to the original 150. And now for the addition of Aishi here, it's going to be really interesting because either it's going to work out for them as a team, having him as a playmaker, or it might disrupt team chemistry where the Warlocks already have it down to the T. So yeah, speaking of, you can see here PUP already having a really good start, so it's a good thing that, you know what, it feels like they finally found their footing.
Definitely found their footing indeed. You know, I don't really I don't really depend on like the first hill usually, especially when it comes to hard point standoff, because sometimes a team can start off very much strong onto the first hill, and then moving on to the second hill, they just lose their momentum, and then it just goes downhill from there. JM here with a Kilo 141 anchoring for his team. Unfortunately, he is going to be taken out by someone there, and Macdan gameplay is going to be coming in from the backside of the spawn as well. Malayan Warlocks 4-39. Big discrepancy in terms of score, but it's still going to be the second hill. So let's see on how both teams are actually going to just battle it out for this game.
Definitely rotation really coming through for the side of the Warlocks. It's a good thing because they spawned off of gas station, which is something that you'd really want to control into P2. And now having blue in your control, they're having kind of a difficult time going into that because only one player, Marstella, just having a rampage going in there for the OBJ, just flushing every single one of the Warlocks out of the hard point. And just like that, we have a little bit of response coming in from PUP, finally getting some points here. But I feel like for Warlocks, it's just not enough. Scrap points definitely going into their favor, but you can see the rotation already coming in from the side of PUP.
Definitely rotation as well as a spawn, as well as a good spawn for the side of PUP. So this might just be a little bit more difficult for Malayan Warlocks to actually penetrate through. We are seeing the rotations here. Is he going to be able to spot those opponents onto second floor? He does get one, gets that tagged up, but that's not going to be a successful kill for his side too. OBJ playing for the team of PUP on the hill already. 5 more seconds till that hard point gets identified. One opponent is going to be taken out by Van. Tries to penetrate through. Unfortunately, the OBJ of PUP, just kills on kills on kills, and there you go. The Sparrow gameplay is going to be coming in as well. Those operator skills are going to be ready to go, but you have to be careful in terms of deploying these operator skills because it might just go to waste. And there you go, just like what we said, he's going to be taken out. He's not going to be able to capitalize on that.
Just jinxed it. That caster curse right there. You said it already, girl. Like, if you bring it out the wrong time, and that's where you bring out your guns when you are at a safe location. You basically brought it out in the middle of a gunfight and eventually losing to it. That could have been big, but you know what? I feel like it doesn't really matter still because they still have a very solid hold PUP, getting a lot of the points here and finally going in for the rotation, giving P3 scrap points going in for the side of the Warlocks. So, good things here so far. I feel like the only fault that they had was leaving P2 a little bit too early going in for the rotation, not really contesting the scrap points there. But you know what? It eventually just went back to them. But the problem here now is they're utilizing all of their score streaks now going into Bakery, where Warlocks can use theirs, penetrating going inside into P4.
There you have it. The Gravity Vortex is going to be coming in from the side of Aishi, but that's not going to be capitalized on. Pibs on to P2 second floor, spotting those opponents entering through boxes. The contestment is going to be coming in, but the concussion is going to be in the perfect timing. And there you have the Gravity Vortex is going to be in the favor of Malayan Warlocks, and they are going to be getting this kill. 32 seconds remaining on the clock. They just have to hold this and until they actually eventually get the lead. Again, those operator skills went a little bit too early for the side of PUP, and it was good for Malayan Warlocks to just wait until their time has come and they are able to do so. But there you go. A retake is going to be coming in from the side of PUP as well. With 17 seconds remaining on the clock, what can you do for the side of Malayan Warlocks?
Well, there's really so much they can do. I feel like they did the best that they can into Bakery because it is hard to go inside. This is a money hill that we really like to say. But they were able to use their Vortex. The Gravity Vortex being used a lot right now. Obviously, Season 6 looks like it's a different meta altogether. But now, obviously, the rotation goes through. Well, Malayan Warlocks, that is a good rotation going into P1, getting a lot of the entry points right now. And obviously, there's going to be some sort of contest. But then, just like that, player number 1 getting a lot of the kills. And that just gave them enough time to get stunned and still get the points here. So Malayan Warlocks, they're getting a lot of points. It's a back and forth, a conversation that we like to see.
This is what we like to see indeed. I mean, the contestment is always like constantly going through. The trades of the kills is coming through as well. The double kill coming in. This player, a triple. Can he make it a quadruple? No, he is going to be taken out of the equation. That contestment is going to be coming in as well, but PUP is going to be getting that first hill yet again. 17 seconds remaining on the clock, and we are seeing some players of PUP trying to rotate for the second hill, but there you go. Malayan Warlocks will have their resources stacked onto this hill, ready to go. Aishi is going to be taken out by the side, and I mean, when it comes to P2, I feel like it's not one of the most difficult hills, but it is going to, I mean, if Malayan Warlocks manages to hold this off and actually get the lead from here, I feel like their momentum is going to get carried on over to the next hill, and they might just be able to actually win this.
Malayan Warlocks, it's really good here in P2. The rotation definitely going to be early, so that's a good side for them. But they did lose control over gas station. That's going to be very detrimental because look at all of the yellow on the map right now. But then, good thing for them, they were actually losing all their gunfights. So Malayan Warlocks, even though that spawn wasn't in their favor, they still won a lot of their gunfights and, again, have gas control. So that's a really good sign for them. And it looks like, slowly but surely, Malayan Warlocks already getting a lot of points, closing in the gap, 122 and 118. And PUP need to find a response because in 2 hardpoints straight, even 3 hardpoints straight, they just had such a difficult time going in for the defense.
They are having a difficult time, and we are seeing that on the score, 128 to 122, with just a few more seconds. And you know what? The rotation is going to be coming in. Look at the map. Malayan Warlocks is already setting up for the next hill, while scrap time is going to be coming in for the side of PUP. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is one of the most difficult hills to penetrate through. And once you get all those positions in, and once you have your resources in that hill, especially onto P3, it's just going to be a little bit more difficult for PUP to actually get a hold off this one, not unless those operator skills come in handy and actually break the hill. But by the looks of it, Malayan Warlocks, they have it locked down, but let's see if one player is going to be able to get that kill. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to. And there you have it, Malayan Warlocks onto 150 to 128 on the scoreboard, with still a lot of time to actually soak up all of the points that they can get from P3.
PUP Pylon's just having such a hard time into crossing over into blue, and they can't even touch it. There's no contest whatsoever. A full 60 coming in for the side of the Malayan Warlords. So really good start for them. But the rotation again coming in from PUP going into Bakery, the money that we like to see. But a 2-stack coming in from Boxes will definitely be a force to be reckoned with as they go and try inside. But pretty good defense into that solo hold. So they only have that one lifeline. That's going to be that one person that we get to see here in Bakery. And still winning a lot of the gunfights. Big gunfights. Let's see if we can make it a 3rd kill. No, unfortunately they don't. And they lose control of the hardpoint. That was so unfortunate.
Unfortunate indeed, and that gravity vortex gun right onto the entrance of the hill is not going to allow anyone from PUP to actually penetrate through. But there you go, JM is going to be taken out of the equation. The Sparrow is ready on the hill though, but no one is still penetrating through from the side of PUP. They know those operator skills are ready to go, so they're just really taking their time. If I were them, they could actually penetrate. They can actually go onto 2nd floor and actually go in for the kill. But there you go, another retake coming in from the side of Malayan Warlocks. Unfortunately, that player is going to be taken out as well. The MAC-10 is going to be coming in, but unfortunately that's not going to be enough. 204 to 143. Malayan Warlocks players, they just know how to hold it down, and they actually want to finish this on the next hill. 15 seconds remaining on the clock. They're not giving that scrap time to PUP, so they just really want to finish this out.
50+ points already in between them, and the Warlords look like they finally have their groove on. The Sparrow coming in a little bit too late, as is how many seconds left going into the hardpoint. You need to go in for the rotation. I feel like should have just waited when you just probably go into Granny's house, where you probably would have made a big difference. But no, it's a good thing though. A lot of the other players are already poised in position here from the side of PUP, but still could have been a really big difference. And as you know, P1 is going to be the most difficult to go and defend because of how open it is. But so far, solid hold right now from PUP, finally getting a lot of the points that they lacked from a while ago.
Definitely, and while we're talking about that, I mean, they are getting those points in, and there you have it. The Predator missile is going to be coming in from PUP as well. One more Sport Street ready to deploy. The contestment is going to be coming in, but Ethan, that's not going to be enough for you. 220 to 170, and Malayan Warlocks is again having a difficult time getting onto the defense of PUP. But there you have it. Aki is going to be clearing that side up. Unfortunately, he's going to be taken out of the equation as well. The contestment is going to be coming in. Rafi tries to contest, but unfortunately that's not going to be enough, and that's going to be a few more seconds. Scrap time for the side of Malayan Warlocks, and the rotation is going to be coming in as well. The cluster strike, I am not sure about the placement. It could have went a little bit more later, but there you have it. The Goliath is going to be coming in from the side of Malayan Warlocks as well. 224. They can finish this. They can finish this on this hill. They can't get rid of the Goliath, and it's going to be difficult. But there you go. Sparrow might just be able to do the job. And there you have it. A retake is going to be coming in from PUP. But nope, Malayan Warlocks, they have the resources around the perimeter of the hill. And that's going to allow them to actually get that hill again. 240 mark. Just 10 more seconds remaining. And PUP, they might just be able to contest this again. They just need to actually get their resources in. And there you have it. Those kills are going to be coming in. 20 seconds remaining on the clock. PUP not giving up.
But then if you were Malayan Warlords, it's time to rotate because you have the best option to go in there. For PUP, they have no choice but to stick to this hardpoint. They just send in the whole stack going into that P3. They need to step on. Unfortunately, that person just probably could have stepped in a little bit later going into that second hardpoint to that rotation. And now, finally, this is where things are crucial. This is where the score streaks will matter. And right now, that Gravity Vortex absolutely stopped the push from PUP. And now, let's see. There's only 8 points left for the side of the Malayan Warlords to go and win this all, and now just drizzling a lot of luck going in here. PUP still winning a lot of the gunfights, but then player number 4 coming in for the side of the Malayan Warlords is definitely stopping them from doing so. Contest after contest, and the whole stack of the Warlords are already there to say hello, and there you go. Game number 1 goes in from the side of the Malayan Warlords in a very convincing fashion, where PUP Pylons just absolutely struggled, but still a valiant effort from this team. And I'm excited because as far as the points were, I mean, it wasn't even that far. It was like probably 30 points in. You could see the effort that they gave was just so impressive.
Definitely. I mean, the effort was there, and you know that when you start strong, you know that they're just capable of actually winning all those gunfights. It's just that when it came to the rotation as well as the strategy of Malayan Warlocks, they just completely lost it. And you know what? It was good for Malayan Warlocks too, because well, they weren't overextending, they weren't going anywhere, they were just around the perimeter. And if their OBJ gets eliminated on the hill, another one is ready to step in, and that's what we saw. That's how they did their retakes, as well as the smart pull out of the operator's skills. They knew when to use it. They knew that they needed it in terms of preventing those push coming in from PUP, as well as to use their sparrows accordingly to clear up the point or to clear up the side. Whereas PUP, they were a little bit shaky in terms of like letting go of those operator skills, and I feel like that is where we find that difference from Malayan Warlocks to PUP.
You're absolutely right. It was the timing of the score streaks that made the biggest difference. And not just that, the operator skills as well. We saw that as an example from, I think that was the first half of the game, where you saw PUP pull out all of their score streaks, the sparrows, all of that into P3, which is a little bit premature to use a score streak on, because usually you get to see that in P4, which is the money hill, where you get to have a lot of the points because of how easy it is to defend. But obviously they did get a lot of points coming to P3, but once they went into that rotation into Bakery, they were sucked out dry. And that's where you saw the Warlords just bring out everything that they have, even bring it up across into P1 for that full rotation. And after that, it was just PUP just couldn't handle it anymore. They couldn't recover.
Couldn't recover indeed. I mean, when you're in a specific position wherein like your opponents have the necessary utilities and they have the necessary operator skills to actually make a retake and to actually defend the point well, and you have nothing, it's a little bit of a pinch. You can only depend on your gunfights, your guns and your gun skills in order to actually penetrate through the hill, and that's what made them that's what made it difficult for them to penetrate through. And we saw that right onto Bakery, those gravity vortex on the entrances. That's actually a good play because you're going to be preventing that push. They don't want to they don't want to push there. They don't want to get sucked into the gravity vortex, just because you know it could mess up the spawns a little bit more. And you know what, they are going to be down one player when pushing, and you don't want that as much as possible. We are seeing like repetitive pushes from PUP as well. Again, like what I said, they could have cleared up a little bit onto the side of P2 and actually penetrate the hill going onto second floor, but we did not really see that. They just completely depended on what they could do as of the moment, like pushing from boxes and then knowing where or predicting where those opponents are going to be, and that cost them a little bit. So I'm just really excited as to how these players are going to be battling it out on Search and Destroy. Game number 2, we know that these guys are mechanically skilled, but will they have the team chemistry and strategy to actually pull through game number 2?
It looks like they are banking on that team chem because like what you mentioned before, right, Miss Air, that Warlocks, they're already established as a team. And yes, maybe we have a little bit of a superstar in Pylon Phantoms, and that only is one person that can maybe mean the biggest difference when it comes to team chem. But at this point, they're probably still adjusting to each other's playstyle, whether or not you have one good player. But you are going up against a team that already knows how each other works. And we've already seen a while ago, the rotations were amazing, especially in P2, where the hill, which is absolutely their baby, PUP Pythons, they had the most struggle into P2. They could not go in there at all, even with all of their operators ready. It just wouldn't happen. But now we are slowing things down into Search and Destroy, where your life matters because you will not respawn. So maybe PUP is just struggling with the respawn. It's just because it's a rhythm-based gameplay where everything can just snowball out of control, and where S&D, this is where individual gunfights really matter.
Indeed. And you know what, we are going to be able to see each player actually stand out for what they can do in the battlefield. So Search and Destroy, again, it's a slower pace compared to for example, Hardpoint and Domination. So it's just really interesting as to how these players are going to be battling it out.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we were hyping that game up, y'all, for everyone watching at home, unfortunately, I have some sad news. Mama Beef has brought you some unfortunate news. And even though, yes, the Warlords, they won that pretty convincingly, and there's a reason why they won that pretty convincingly. It's because they were using an Annihilator where it's actually banned. So unfortunately for the Malayan Warlords and their fans in the chat right now. PUP wins game number 1, and this is why you need to pay attention with all of the score streaks and operator skills that you're not allowed to use in game. And even though, yes, what a brilliant win, probably in another dimension if they didn't use the Annihilator. Oh man, that was a sayang, sobrang sayang.
Definitely, I agree with you. But you know what? We already saw their skills, and you know what? Take some time, adjust your loadouts, make sure that you're not using anything that is banned from the tournament, and then we're gonna be smooth sailing from there. Again, ladies and gentlemen, PUP wins game number 1. Unfortunately, MCL was using an Annihilator, which was banned, which is an operator skill that was banned. So we are gonna be moving on over to game number 2. That's going to be a standing of 0-1 in favor of Phantoms PUP. So just stick around and yeah, search and destroy. I mean, when it comes to a slower paced game, like again, those players are going to get some more light on what they can do in the battlefield individually and as a team as well. But you know what, this is where we're going to see who is actually the team players of each team.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And hopefully we don't get to see an SVD here or another banned item. Fingers crossed, maybe a trip mine or two. But we want to see a fair fight here, y'all. So as much as it was maybe the reason why the Malayan Warlocks did win that very convincingly, maybe it's because they were using a bad item. So now that Search and Destroy is going to be coming up, hopefully it's a more even playing field where Pylon Phantoms, maybe it's because they weren't using the Annihilator, maybe that's why they were having a difficult time. And now definitely individual gun skills will matter the most here in Search and Destroy. And now probably the most important here in S&D, depending on the map. If it's a big map, if it's a small map. If it's a big map like Takeoff like we saw a while ago, you have to stick with your buddies. You need to know what kind of rotation you're going to do. Are you going to be doing a 2-1-2 split if you are on the defense? And if you are going to go have a full send into a site. So again, now that we're waiting for the players going in here and we're having a conversation about Search and Destroy and who can probably go and win this, Miss Air, if you were to choose from the performance a while ago that we saw from the Warlocks, do you think they'd still win Search and Destroy, just purely based on what we saw in Hardpoint?
I feel like I might go for PUP on this one, just because I know that, you know what, in terms of gunfight and skills, I know that PUP definitely has, you know, has a better, you know, aim in terms of, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but like, you know what, for me personally, I know that they can win those gunfights. And again, like what I said earlier, Malayan Warlocks, they are a little bit of, their team plays off better in the middle of the game or late game. So I feel like PUP has a better cards for this one, especially. So this is going to be Search and Destroy raid as well. So we did see a lot of CBRs earlier and from the side of PUP, so they might just be able to capitalize on that going into Search and Destroy. So Lion Warlocks, they have to keep on strategizing well, just so that they can be at par with what PUP is going to be giving them for Search and Destroy.
The meta seems to be like it's still into the favor of CBR and also the MAC-10, but I'm curious to see how the sniper gameplay will actually go in half, because obviously for a map like Raid, it's definitely going to be very handy. And now the rotation coming very aggressively as the smokes are going to go down, trying to go in there for a full blast going into Alpha, but unfortunately for them, they're going to be like 2 players going to be greeting them, but there you go, takes down 1. Will there be a trade? Because you can see the lifeline right now of PUP, they're not going to be in a really good spot, but they're still pretty evened out. 3-3, both for teams.
For teams indeed, but there you go. Malayan Warlocks is going to be down 2 players, and that's going to be a 1v3 situation. The bomb is going to be planted here on 2A, and there you have it. 1 player spots that last opponent, and that's going to be 1 point for the side of PUP Pylon Phantom.
That was a very fast round, which I really enjoyed to see because, yeah, like PUP, like Pylon Phantoms, that was a really good push, but then they shouldn't make the same mistake of repeating that same play, but there you go. They're slowing things down a bit. As you can see, 3 people stacking A from the side of the Warlords, but you can see that nade, the God nade, absolutely just destroyed the play right now of the Warlords, and now PUP needs to go and make a decision whether or not they want to go and push, because obviously aggression worked out for them, but now they're just stepping back just a little bit, and it looks like they still want to go and commit into that alpha push.
Alpha push indeed, but they might just be greeted onto Alpha by 2 players. One player now. HG with that sniper kill. A CBR kill is going to be coming in as well. Now it's going to be 1v2 situation. Malayan in favor of PUP. I mean, what can you do? You don't want, as much as possible, you don't want to get pinched, but there you go. One player gets tagged up. The information is going to be relayed. The scopes are going to be coming in from the side of PUP. That bomb is going to be planted, applying a lot more pressure onto the last man standing of Malayan Warlocks. You don't want to be spotting that opponent, but the Holger is going to be better than that scope. He is going to be able to penetrate through court. Now it's a matter of who's going to be spotting who first. 1v1 situation, you're peeking at the wrong angle, go on to small room, that gets tagged up, and he's going to be eliminated. Sent to the next round. 0-2 for the side of PUP.
Nah, that was unfortunate. Very winnable. But then it just makes you think, did he not know where that person was? It's like when you're going into Alpha, you're just gonna assume that someone's inside in Cubby. Did not check at all. Plus had a terrible gun to do close quarter engagements with. A Holger with the slowest of slow ADS speed. You're going up against a CBR. So again, MCL definitely could have won that round. But again, PUP just a little bit too smart. But then it's a good thing JM getting that first blood. That's a good start for the Malayan Warlocks to try and go and make a difference.
Make a difference indeed. One player gets tagged up, immediately repositions himself. And there you go. Again, Malayan Warlocks down 4 players. 1v4 situation. What can you do? The spray down is going to be coming in. But there you go. The trade is going to be coming in as well. JM gets taken out. And that's going to be yet another fast round, Beef. So 0-3.
I just blinked my eyes and I opened after I casted that, and it was just over and done with. It's so fast, but it looks like PUP really is good with the aggression when it comes to search and destroy. It makes you wonder where that fire came from Malayan Warlocks, like what you said. They just take a little bit of time to warm up, and now PUP knows that, so they're bringing fire. So much fire going into the first half of this round. Every round, actually. But then you go, they finally pay the price for being overly aggressive, and now they are down 3. 5v3, no, make that 4v3. No, 4v1. That's going to be a very difficult thing to go and complete. But just like that, you can see a very quiet push. CBR not doing its job quite well, and there you go. The FHJ makes an appearance and just does the shutdown. You don't see that every day, Miss Air.
Well, I mean, I'm just shocked. I mean, I thought I wasn't able to see it clearly, but there you go. The FHJ gameplay is gonna be coming in for search and destroy.
I thought it was honestly, I thought it was a grenade at first. I was like, what's an FHJ?
Right, and they were able to pull that off as well. Speaking of nades, the first entry frag of that game is going to be there. That nade kill is going to be there as well. PUP down by 2 players. Math advantage goes to the side of Malayan Warlocks. This hold coming in from gallery. You don't really want to spray as early as that, especially if you don't know where your opponents are, because that's going to, you know, just show them your location, and that's going to be enough information for for the opponent to actually rotate and know where you can possibly push. And this is a little bit slower than compared to what we saw earlier. Gets that spray down successfully, gets that kill, repositions, goes in for that kill. That's a second kill. Nice. 2v3 situation in favor of PUP. The backstab is going to be coming in from the side of Malayan Warlocks. Let's see if Marcella can actually get this kill. She does get Aki out of the equation. 1v2 situation in favor of PUP. And they might just be able to spot one another right onto this circle. But JM
Marcella
with the map.
Oh, it's crazy, right? Look at that. Just like that, PUP was able to bring things down. And even though they didn't have the man advantage, it doesn't really matter. Off through the wall bang. That is a beautiful kill, and what seemed to be like a Warlocks win, it just turned against them as PUP, especially Marcelo with a beautiful 3K. Wanted to make it a 4th, but that is just amazing, amazing slowdown. That was a good adjustment for them, to be honest, because they were bringing fire, yes, but they decided to extinguish it just a little bit, slow it down, and try to be a little bit more calculated. But here you go, a little bit of trouble here in through mid, and this is going to be very tricky because mid, I feel like there's no control whatsoever from the side of the Warlocks.
No control whatsoever. Indeed. I mean, look at this. Look at the kill feed. Those trades are going to be coming in. And again, Malayan Warlocks down by 4 players. 1v3 situation. Aki, what can you do? Spots one opponent, gets in for that spray, and Nirvana goes down, and that's going to be a 1v2. But the bomb is going to be successfully planted right onto A. He is going to be able to spot that opponent onto bar. Gets that tag up. Don't go there because you might just be able to get a backstab. But there you have it. Aki manages to put us into a 1v1. Please check the cubby. Goes in for the spray, and there you have Aki wins this round for Malayan Warlocks. And we are now in a standing of 2-4. Still in favor of PUP.
Clutch King Aki, a 1v3 situation. He had everything down to the T, and that was their mistake. They were just a little bit too spread out, and now we get to see something that's paused. Oh, okay, we're pausing the match right now. Hello, hi everyone. You're seeing the beautiful faces of our casters right now. Miss Air, Beef Mommy, hi. We've been here for a while. We do this for a living, and you know what? The fact that we do this for a living and we still get to see moments like that is definitely great. But anyway, so I guess it looks like we have another a little bit of a situation going on right now. So it just looks like MCL wins this. It's like a back and forth between both of these teams. We said a while ago, hopefully in Search and Destroy, no one's gonna be using an SVD, but turns out PUP used Quick Fix. And now it's default win for the Malayan Warlocks, and looks like they just have a response. Hey guys, why don't we default each round? Let's see who's gonna default each round here, Miss Air.
We were just talking about that earlier. We were like, check your loadouts. You have time. Check your loadouts again, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, we hate to see it. I mean, you're already in the later stages of the tournament, of the competition, and as much as possible, you already know those rules, and you have to make sure that your loadout is already checked and ready to go, because it is very much unfortunate. I mean, it's unfortunate for us casters as well as your fans out there, those people you know what, supporting you on the comment section. Of course, we want to see a full game, but there you have it. Just the whole match, it's a standing of 1-1 by default.
By default. You know what? There's like a running joke between me and Miss Air, right? Because the last time that we were supposed to cast together, it was like default win. It was like DQ, so we weren't able to cast together. We were like so excited to see, and whoever was playing just cast over that. But it seems like our luck is still kind of shaky today, because yes, we are casting together, but it has been default 2 times in a row. So please, comment section, can you give us a little bit of slack? Can you give love to your casters and to your teammates and make sure that they won't choose anything that will DQ them, because domination is up in the horizon, and we are having a game number 4. I mean, that's if they don't commit any kind of penalties that will like definitely get one out. So you know what, fingers crossed, Miss Air, we're gonna have like a full game.
Full game indeed. We are hoping that for domination, and that's going to be in the Summit map. Blue side is going to be going to PUP, and red side is going to be going in for the Malayan Warlocks. This is a little bit more. It's a little bit different from what we have seen in game 1 and 2. I mean, standoff. You know, we can't really say that it's more of a small map, because there are still gunfights that are more of like mid to long range. In terms of raid, all those gunfights are probably going to be on the long range side, but Summit, you best believe that all of the gunfights here are more on close range. So we have seen these guys, we know that they play on to, they hang on to their CBRs as well as their MAC-10s. So this is going to be interesting. I am interested to actually see if anyone's going to be pulling out a shotgun anytime soon. Because if you guys have read the patch notes, let's just say that it's less hit mark now.
Yeah, again,
so let's see.
Come back. Especially in the Garena region, where everyone just loves to use the shoddy. I mean, I've been playing ranked. Okay, so I've been trying to grind on like the rank, but then it's just I just die every time to the KRM, especially if I'm in a small map like Summit. It's just like I get so angry. And I'm just like, oh, okay. It's like it makes you want to use a shotgun yourself, but it's like, do I want to be that person? Yes. I just want to level up. I just want to be Grandmaster.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? I'm ready to go, Beef. Let's go play a few games. I am manifesting a win streak. So,
Okay, please.
yeah, I mean, we're just really waiting for the next match to start again. I am just really excited. I want to be able to see those close range gunfights. I want to be able to see how KRM gameplays or BY15 gameplay is going to be coming in from both sides if they are going to be pulling that out. It's also interesting because when you move on over to a map like Summit, especially in Domination, those anchor positions, it's still considered as, well, for me, it's still considered as mid range because it's not that far. And in my own experience, you have to know your LMG well for you to be able to pull off those anchor positions onto Domination Summit. You want to be flexible in terms of ADS speed. You want to be flexible in terms of movement speed as well. So a lot of people are going to be saying, well, when you're anchoring, you have to be able to actually pull up an AR. And I believe we haven't seen any player from both teams using an AR. It's just CBR, Macden, and we did see a Holger earlier. And surprise appearance of an FHJ.
FHJ, yes. Oh, that was my favorite part of the whole matchup. But I mean, you brought up a really good point where you need to know what gun to use. Really just consider ADS speed, because like what we saw a while ago where it was a 1v1 situation, Holger versus Mac 10, where guy didn't even check the corner into Cubby, knowing very well that is a hotspot of someone trying to hide and try to get you. And if you have a Holger, just wall bang. I mean, yes, you are making a little bit of noise, but you have the advantage of long distance. So it's just like you need to choose what kind of gunfights you are having depending on what gun you use. Because obviously, if you have a Mac 10, just do close range gunfights. You're not going to win a long range gunfight up against a Holger. So again, with a map like Summit, it's tiny, it's really small. But yes, you do have long sight lines as well, especially if you do want to anchor a certain position. But now, let's take a look at the players right now. Pibs from PUP and Blue Aki right now from the Warlocks. So again, that is a really, really special place, especially for the side of Aki, where he was able to clutch up that 1v3 situation. That was absolutely nasty.
Nasty indeed. And I really do hope that everyone checked their loadouts this time. We want a full game, you guys.
Man, I'm looking at their loadout right now. Okay, Miss Air, I'm just looking at it one by one. Okay, we see a trophy system. We see Dead Silence. Okay, we're good. A Skulker. Okay, we're good. Is that Persistence? Okay.
Alright, we are going to be starting off this match here onto Summit. Domination quickly. PUP gets a full capture of the Alpha and the Bravo flag as well. The spray is going to be coming in from the second floor, denying that entry from the side of Malayan Warlocks. This is good for the side of PUP. They just need to keep this pace and to keep their momentum, and they're going to be able to execute this.
And now we get to see really good control from control room number 2. That's a really good start here so far. PUP getting a hold of that. And I feel like for MCL, I feel like they just need to go in there for the second floor. That's basically it. I mean, you have to anchor that site down because it's having a lot of sightlines going into Bravo and Charlie as well. And yes, even though the the Warlocks actually have that A control, it's better to have C and B. It's just easier to go and defend.
I totally agree with you. I mean, if you're on the spawn of A, most teams would actually push through second floor and get C right away for that spawn flip. JM gets that kill, tries to go in for the second, but unfortunately is going to be taken out by Mael. And there you have it. They have full control. PUP has full control of control room. And they
it's control room. It's named control room for a reason. I keep saying that too.
Right? And you know that they have good map awareness here, but Aishi is already going to be taken out of the equation there, and he's going to be moved on to the spawn yet again. Malayan Warlocks is down by a little bit. Still, it's not big. It's not much big of a discrepancy, but as much as possible, you wanna start pushing C if you want to divert their attention to their home flag rather than B, because right now they're stacked up to control room, and it's going to be difficult for them to actually go in for that push. But while we're saying that, they tried to get onto C flag, but that's going to be prevented by PUP as well.
Oh, and there you go. That's a really good start right now for PUP. And 54 and 30, definitely not going to be the biggest difference that we've seen here so far. But again, still very impressive because so far, the Warlocks are having the most difficult time to try to go and infiltrate that Charlie flag. But then there you go, a full send going into Charlie. Will it be stopped? Only one person, Aishi, tries to go in there for the denial and finally gets it. That was so close. That was such a great effort, though, coming in from the side of the Warlocks, trying to go in there for that Charlie control. But unfortunately for them, they just couldn't have that 2F control, which we keep hyping up. You need to have 2F because they had 4 players, was shut down by only 2.
Right. And we are now reaching that 75 score mark. This is going to be a waste of operator skill.
Oh,
Yet again.
yeah. The Sparrows.
You don't pull that out. As much as possible when you reach that 60 score mark, you don't pull out your operator skills, you don't pull out your score streaks. You want to save that for the second round because you'll never know. A triple cap can be in the works for the side of your opponent. But let's see. Malayan Warlocks tries to penetrate through second floor, but immediately gets taken out. And again, this is going to be the full control of PUP onto control room. And they're amazing doing this. They know what positions that they need, and they're really going in and winning those gunfights, and that's what we're seeing. I mean, at the start of the round, just the scoreboard, the kill feed is painted blue. And there you go, the Sparrow gameplay is going to be coming in. Two players down. Is he going to be able to actually get a triple on the Sparrow? Spots one, gets that damage in, and there you have it. The third kill is going to be coming in. That's when you pull out your Sparrow. That's a little bit smarter. There you go, 90 to 47. And Charlie and Bravo flag still in the possession of PUP. Malayan Warlocks still having a difficult time penetrating through. The defense is here. I mean, even I won't be able to get onto their defense if I'm not able to actually, one by one get rid of them.
Yeah, I mean, PUP just pulling out all of their operator skills really well. Pull out game strong. So right now you get to see a lot of the gunfights winning from the side of PUP. It's all just yellow. Yellow right now, and on the other side, unfortunately, it's just, it's just unfortunate to see. But, PUP doing such a great job so far, but then they are losing their gunfights in through mid. So the Warlocks have the opportunity to grab Bravo, and there you go. Finally getting Bravo, but it's an AC push coming in from the side of PUP. So even though they let go of Bravo, they made sure to get another flag. And just like that, though, Warlock trying to go in for that Charlie push, but doesn't really quite get a lot of the points. Tries to go in finisher, but it's not going to be easy because 2 players coming in from the side of PUP are going to try to go in for the infiltration.
Infiltration indeed, and that's going to be Bravo and Charlie flag for the side of the Malayan Warlocks. It's a little bit too late. If you want to be able to win this or even catch up or even close off the discrepancy and score as much as possible, you want a triple cap, but that is going to be denied by PUP. Wait, nope, I spoke too early. If they manage to actually get this alpha flag, they might just be able to turn the tables or even close off that score. And there you go, triple cap. Just hold this off, clean up B, clean up C, just prevent anyone from PUP from actually getting that successful capture. But while we're saying that, Charlie gets successfully captured by PUP once again, but Malayan Warlocks does have 2 flags to their name, and they just need to hold on to this and actually clean up those points.
There you go. Speaking of a cleanup, you can see here trying to go and clean up right now. The Warlocks tried to go and have a little bit more control into Charlie flag. So this is where PUP kind of faltered going into and losing Bravo as well, because they had their sights for A. And yes, that was the push that they wanted. They wanted to have A and C, and I feel like that was a little bit of a gamble for them because that prompted them to lose Bravo. And like what we keep saying, Alpha is not a good flag to have. And just like that, they actually might get another one. Charlie, though, being heavily defended right now by the Warlocks. So that is a good push so far. So yes, even though they're having Alpha, they're kind of struggling into the defense, trying to go and defend Bravo.
This is a ready game. I mean, 145 to 102. This game is going to be going to PUP. No miracle is going to happen for the side of Malayan Warlocks, but they have to start waking up. Moving on over to our game number 4, Hardpoint. They have to learn from those mistakes. And again, we cannot see these players doing the same mistakes over and over again. The wrong timing of the operator skills as well as the score streaks, it is going to be costing them their games. But this is very, very good control for the side of PUP. We know their map awareness. We know how how strong they are in terms of just holding down their power positions, and they were able to pull that through in Domination Summit.
Absolutely. And now we're kind of like going into the momentum of PUP because they had a great search and destroy, and albeit yes they had a DQ in that round, but this performance coming in from Domination Summit was definitely a show of, I feel like, a really good show for skills, because not only are they good with the rotations, but they can also do gunfights as well. And yes, they kind of struggled in that hard point, which is where we're going to after this. That is just a really good sign, because okay, yes, maybe they lost hard point a while ago, but it wasn't by a lot. So it's very possible for them to try and turn things around against the Warlocks and win this hard point. But again, the Warlocks did win it a while ago. So it's anyone's ball game, I think, when it comes to hardpoint. But if we bring this into a game number 5, I think you already know PUP has definitely a better rhythm when it comes to the non-respawns.
Definitely. I agree with you. And you know what, looking at their map picks right now, hardpoint is going to be in firing range. So of course the momentum that they had in Summit, it's going to be a little bit more different. You know that your gunfights are going to be more on the middle to long range gunfights. Compared to Summit, I mean, we have seen the map control of PUP. Now it's going to be interesting if they can actually manage to have the same map control onto something a little bit larger than Summit, which is firing range. In terms of anchor positions, in terms of being able to retake the hill, just Malayan Warlocks were able to do that. We did see that onto standoff hardpoint earlier, game number 1. So it's interesting because it's, again, I do agree with you. It's anyone's ball game at this point. 2-1 is a standing. Pylon Phantoms, they just need one more win. But you know what? At this at the latter stage of the competition, yes, can't talk today.
Yes,
Malayan Warlocks.
I'll do English. Same. At this point, we're just excited, okay, that there wasn't any DQ for Domination.
Right. I agree. Malayan Warlocks, they just really need to they can't be too comfortable, as well as Pylon Phantoms. They can't be too comfortable at what their position is right now as much as possible, especially when it comes to hardpoint. It's another respawn game mode, and at the bigger map, I'm not sure, but who do you think is going to win for hardpoint?
I think Pylon Phantoms are gonna try to close it out. I mean, yes, Warlocks did win it a while ago, but it's a different map now. I think it was a difference of 25 points in between them, so it wasn't that big of a difference. But they also did use a band operator skill, so it's hard to tell. And obviously, I think coming in from that and seeing that Summit gameplay, I feel like PUP is just a little bit more explosive as a play. Malayan Warlocks, though, are a little bit more calculated when it comes to the rotations. But what we saw in Search and Destroy, which I thought the Warlocks, since they were calculated and slow-paced during the respawn match in Hardpoint, they struggled because PUP knew that if you give time to the Warlocks, if you give them time to think, that's when they start, winning. So what PUP did was they were explosive the whole way through and used that to their advantage. So they should do the same thing here in Hardpoint firing range. Well, we're gonna see who is gonna win this matchup. Who will go into the next round? Is it going to be PUP? Is it going to be the Warlocks? Because this is do or die for the Warlocks. If they lose this, it's going to be bye-bye to Conquest, and PUP, they still have a chance to win everything.
And speaking of Conquest, ladies and gentlemen, the Alliance Games Finals will be held live at Conquest 2022, happening on July 23 to 24. At Conquest, you will get a chance to watch the All-G finalists battle it out on stage, meet your favorite gaming and esports personalities, and enjoy a lot of different programs and activities for all kinds of gamers. So stay tuned for more Conquest updates at the official Facebook page, www.facebook.com/conquestph, and we are going to be seeing game number 4, Hardpoint firing range, 24 seconds on the clock, and PUP is on that hill, but Malayan Warlocks is going to be getting this one-man OBJ. If you don't want to see it, he does get pinched on that position, but there you have it. 17 seconds remaining on the o'clock scrap time might go for Malayan Warlocks. It's just repeating again. This is the same thing that we did see earlier onto game number 1. They are going in for the scrap time, and we're finally seeing an RPD. That's good.
Okay, yeah, the RPT definitely we got to see a lot, but then this is definitely a map where you can use that. But the rotation coming in from the side of PUP is definitely a little bit great compared to the Warlocks going into American. So even though, yes, they tried to go into Ascend, probably just 2 players coming in for the Warlocks, it just wasn't enough. But just as I said that, PUP just lost control because they did not have enough Slayers and like going in for the defense outside of American into the pickup truck. So as much as they rotated early enough, they just couldn't defend it well. And now for the Warlocks, they're using it to their advantage. You can see PUP is spawning out so far, and it's just they don't know where to go. I feel like the routes that they're taking, they're just not winning all of their gunfights.
Not winning all their gunfights, indeed. And you know what? I mean, for the side of Malayan Warlocks, though, you don't want a one-man OBJ, especially moving on to game number 4. You know, I mean, the standing is already 2-1. As much as possible, you want 3 or 4 people on that hill just to have that defense on. But let's see if they're going to be able to actually realize that in the middle of the game. We are seeing a 2-man OBJ for the side of PUP. The Gravity Vortex is ready to go. So let's see if they're going to be able to capitalize on that. And there you go. 1 kill is going to be coming in. 35-43 is the score. Still a small discrepancy in terms of score. But let's see on how Malayan Warlocks, if Malayan Warlocks is going to be able to manage to actually penetrate through the hill. But look at this. The RPD gameplay is going to be coming through. That's a triple kill for the side of PUP. Rafi takes out one opponent. Mael gets Rafi. The trades are coming in, but still the point is in possession of PUP.
And there you go, big kills right now. It just takes a 1v1 situation to try to go in there and finally gets the kill. Warlords are already into the hardpoint trailer. Gonna be very difficult to go and defend, but hopefully he does get that. But a 2v1 situation, no, a 3v1 with Aishi trying to go and bring him down. So that's a really good start here. But then Aishi does go down very quickly. But still, PUP still getting a lot of the points here in the hill. And now scrap points still going in their favor. Not only that, they also have control of red. So bathrooms, that's going to be an essential part of the map where you get to rotate, not only defend trailer, but also rotate into wood where the next hard point is going to be located. Big kills right now going into the side of PUP. The defense is basically really good, but for Warlocks, unfortunately for them, it doesn't really work out because I feel like for PUP, they had a great start here, but it's just they couldn't really get a lot of the gunfights down. But then the Warlocks is just they actually respond pretty greatly right now. So we get to see PUP finally getting a lot of points here, 94 and 60. But obviously for the Warlocks, that's still not that big of a deal. And now they are having a little bit of a hard time to go into for the control here in PUP. It's been a back and forth here so far in this hill. But speaking of a back and forth, we need to see a little bit more of a solid hold from both of these teams when it comes to that P1.
P1, indeed, that's going to be a reset for the whole game. 100 score mark is going to be coming in. Again, this is a 250 score for a hard point, so anything can happen in the middle of the game. You can lose your momentum for the side of PUP, and for the side of Malayan Warlocks, you can start heating up, winning those gunfights, and actually get a hold of that. But there you go. We are going to be seeing one player from Malayan Warlocks right onto tower. So let's see if they're going to be able to manage to actually capitalize on their positions here. And there you have it. Aishi is going to be going down the hill. He is going to manage to get the double kill onto the hill. But what is happening? JM gets taken out of the equation. And here, RPD gameplay, this is a good hold consistently. PUP gets a good hold of those hills, and it's actually, playing onto their favor. Malayan Warlocks still having a hard time penetrating through. They are getting those kills around the parameter of the hill, but unfortunately for them, they're not able to hold as much as PUP can.
So this is the thing, right? If you are holding an RPD, and I feel like if that player just stayed there and topped in, they probably still would have had the hill. And that's the thing. It's like he wanted to go and get that kill into long, trying to go into the first hard point. But a lot of players kind of think, I feel like this is like oh no, he killed himself! He killed himself with his own gravity vortex. That's just so unfortunate. You know what? I'm gonna go back into that thought later because that was just absolutely hilarious to see. And now the Warlocks are going to be inside of the hard point. That is just, oh no. 149 and 93, and the Warlocks looks like they really want to have control over P2. And so far, even before the reset, the Warlocks are just holding it down. They're surviving right now.
Surviving indeed, but that is they are holding on to the thread. It's a thin line, and you don't want to be making those mistakes. I'm sorry, it was very much unfortunate. I agree with you that Gravity Vortex was very much unfortunate. The Sparrow is ready for the side of PUP as well. Again, they just need to time this very well. 173 on the scoreboard with a few seconds remaining on the clock. They're not letting go of that scrap time. They're not allowing Malayan Warlocks to get that scrap time either. Again, what we are seeing from PUP is that they're not too comfortable in terms of what their score is. So they're still getting all those kills, but there you go, a triple kill coming in from Aki, clearing up that hard point right onto Trailer. And he just needs one more player onto this hill because he might just end up getting pinched yet again. He knows that there's one in barrels, but he's going to be penetrated through from the back. And there you have it. He does find himself in a pinch, but the Spyro gameplay from Rafi is going to be coming in. JM goes in. Rafi goes in as well. Takes down 187 to 106. And the hard point is going to be in the possession of Malayan Warlock.
Great back and forth from both of these teams, and PUP, that was just unfortunate to see because yes, they had so many Sparrows but they weren't able to utilize it very well. But then they finally get a hold of the hard point, but let's see who's going to be winning that gunfight, and obviously Marstella does. And now big kills yet again, so many kills right now, 34 for Aishi right now. Is he gonna go for a 40? Because it's very possible. 50 points left in for this game right now, and it's the difference between you making it or not. Aishi still gets it, 36 to his name. PUP looking very, very close. They're seeing the win right at the horizon right now. They can finally taste it. They can taste conquest already. It's at their fingertips. 206 and 118. Warlocks, it's still very possible for them, but then almost like 90-something points left in between them. They need to make the best play that they've ever had in their life.
And there you go, Malayan Warlocks is going to be spawning right onto jungle. This is going to be a lot more easier for PUP to actually get rid of those opponents as long as they have their anchor right onto red. And now we are going to be seeing that, but there you go, he does get taken out. The Spyro gameplay is going to be coming in, gets two, but gets traded out JM out of the equation. But still, PUP on that hill. The contestment is going to be coming in from the side of Malayan Warlocks. RPD gameplay on the hill. That is new to me. But hey, if you can actually pull it off, why not, right? 222 mark on the scoreboard with 12 seconds remaining on the clock. The early rotation is going to be coming in from the side of Malayan Warlocks. And scrap time is still going to be for the side of PUP. If I were Malayan Warlocks, I would have contested that. I mean, they're already reaching a 240 mark. So you really don't want that to happen. But it did happen. So Malayan Warlocks, it's do or die right onto this hard point 1 reset.
I mean, even if they didn't touch that hard point, they probably should have positioned themselves into a better one going into P1. So, I mean, yes, they have this one person here, probably just shredding a lot of the Kilo 141, but up to 1 point, there's only like a few seconds left before PUP is actually going to be going in for the win, and I'm curious to see if Aishi's actually going in for that 40, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. 250 and 124. You can see the PUP Pylon Phantoms winning it. And they are going into the next round here at the losers bracket. So, a lot of stories to be told here in this particular matchup. It was a very interesting one, Miss Air, because we started things off a little bit rocky, you know, with the defaults and all of that. But I feel like it was just cherry on top, especially with the amount of kills Aishi delivered.
Right. You know what, if we're talking about statistics, we did see another player from the side of PUP getting a 30 kill mark as well. So that just says a lot for, like, you know, mechanically speaking, that says a lot about their players as well. Right now, just Malayan Warlocks was having a difficult time penetrating through the hill. They had multiple chances to actually get a hold of those hills quite for a long time, but they really weren't able to do so. We were seeing one-man OBJ. You don't usually want that, especially moving on to the latter stage of competition. Again, like, you want your resources stacked onto the hill, especially when it comes to respawn modes, because that's going to be your make it or break it point. So we kind of, you know, we haven't seen Malayan Warlocks it was a different Malayan Warlocks for game number 4 for me. And it was definitely something, PUP, they were able to pull through. They managed to actually win game number 4. And you know what? GG is well played. So let's look into the brackets here, Beef.
Yeah, speaking of the brackets, you take a look at who's sitting there really pretty, just waiting for their opponent. And right now, DLSU Viridis Arcus definitely the team to look out for because they're sitting pretty there. They're just going to be at Conquest. They're trying to see right now, they're watching the stream. Who will their opponent be? Who is worthy enough to see us here into Conquest here at July 23? So, Fit Dasig versus PUP Pylon Phantoms. That is going to be the matchup. And obviously, that will be at July 10, where everything will go down the last day of the playoffs, where whoever wins between those two teams will go see Ateneo LG Altair. But again, Altair has been in a little bit of a weird pickle. They're a good team, but there are just times where they just struggle. Here, I feel like for me, I was kind of expecting I think CSB to maybe try and give Altair a run for their money, but it seems like it might be either Fit Dasig or PUP Python. So you know what? I'm crazy excited to see what is gonna happen next week.
I am much excited. I know that I'm going to be looking out for Fit Dasig as well. I know these guys and I know that they're in it to win it. And you know what? For me to be able to actually see them, for me to be able to see them against Altair, it's going to be very much interesting. I know these guys are capable. So you know what? We're going to be seeing you guys next week, Sunday, for Call of Duty Mobile, for the Call of Duty Mobile games here in AcadArena. Once again, we're your Shy Casters. I am Miss Air. Together with me is Beef Mommy. And we are very much honored to be able to actually bring you guys these 3 matches for today. We are going to be seeing more of these teams next week. And hopefully we see you guys on Conquest 2022 on SMX. So thank you and good night to everyone.